All right, test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3. It looks like you guys are all here. I am ready to go. Hope you guys all had a great day. Loki wants to say hello. He's he actually brought his toy on time here, but thanks to Kilo, he has some treats and stuff, so he's gonna be getting some treats today, which you guys are gonna like. Loki. Oh yeah, lamb. Oh yeah. No, that's not for you right now. Nope. So Loki's enjoying himself. Hope you guys are all having excuse me, a good Thursday here. It's definitely been something of a roller coaster ride. I did one day trade here today, and that's about it, off of that 20-week moving average, and we'll be talking about that. And then we'll go over a whole host of other tokens, because right now we're actually seeing some mixed results over the past couple weeks, and I just wanted to break through all that noise that you guys have been listening to and some of the chaos going around, and just kind of give you guys, just remind everybody where we're at, where, you know, how things are going, because overall things are still looking pretty okay. It's just that the slowdown has really caused some some not good feelings. So before we get started, I'm gonna give Loki one more treat. Loki, oh, want to come up here for a treat? Yeah, come on up. He normally sits down for treats. Oh, look at that, you such a good boy. It's his favorite treat. I don't know why, but these are handmade treats from a lady that lives maybe like 5 miles away from me, and they're little lamb treats in the shape of hearts. And Loki's real gentle when he gets them out. And boom, 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 boom. Yes, sirree. All right. Now, hey, man, it's Villarat. Thanks for watching from Europe. Of course, Ghost, happy to see you. King Sparrow, Jerry, Shane, Carl, the Diamond Life, happy to see all of you guys in here today. Loki's living life at the moment. He's getting all this exercise and stuff. He's actually pretty mad at me at the moment, actually, because there were people doing my yard a few minutes ago, and he wanted to go say hi, but the husband loves Loki, but the wife hates Loki, so because she doesn't like large dogs, so I didn't let him out there. So next time they come over in a few more weeks, I'm gonna go get him so he can play with Loki in the garage for a hot minute. But Loki really wanted to say hi, so I let him out on the balcony so he could at least, like, wave to the dog, but wasn't able to actually get pets and stuff like that, because you know how Loki can be. I got coffee, I got sparkling water. It's gonna be a chill night here, guys. And there was some news to go over too. There was actually some good news for cryptocurrency today, which I really like. Not just about like the economy, but just about crypto and, you know, people getting more used to it, more money flowing into that system. So let's get started here, and let me make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. There you go. Hey, Lionheart, happy to see my man. Helpful information, appreciate that quite a bit. I got a video coming out tomorrow. I took a long time last night and today putting it together. It is the top 10 tokens I'm buying during this kind of wibbly wobbly stuff that Bitcoin's going through here. So hopefully they do pretty well. Knicks will blow another game. Oh yeah, I bet they're gonna have some issues. Well, we'll see. There's a lot of stuff going on. I need to head out and go watch some of these at the bars. I don't have cable TV, so I don't really watch the games unless I'm at the cigar lounge. And I'm not gonna smoke a cigar until my ear is back to normal, which is actually, it's on the verge of going back to normal. It's on the verge. So I'm really happy. Like, if you guys haven't noticed, my mood is a lot better. Like, my ear is like, I'm not gonna say it's this close, but it's like that close to getting back to normal. And so I'm like, oh my God, I can get some energy back. It's been annoying, kind of being in like a muffled brain sense. And I still got a lot of those antibiotics to take. So I'm just gonna keep on taking them. And even when I'm done, you know, this goes away, I'm still going to be taking them, plus all my allergy medication and stuff like that. Plus, since they just did my yard, I'm going to have to really watch what I do there. But yeah, things looking good. I'm excited. Loki has his little treats over here. He also has some special treats for whenever Kilo gets in here. And then coffee. Beautiful coffee. I make mine at home. That's one of the reasons Starbucks is crumbling this this week. All right, let's get started, everybody. What's right here? You're not in Europe yet? Oh, I thought you were in Europe for some reason. I don't know. Oh, probably just, yeah, the German. I need a fire stick. I had one, and I gave it to my sister when she went to college. There's probably 4 fire sticks somewhere loose in this house. I just don't know where they are. But they're there. They're somewhere. I'm sure they have some. I even probably have a Roku or something on top of that. And hey, Shane, yeah, this is not even a screensaver. These are little YouTube videos that I have playing throughout the day. It kind of just brings some life into the room, I guess you would say. But yeah, there's nice little YouTube videos, 4K or 8K videos. My TV is nice enough to kind of play it with a nice little clarity. Because my TV has a sense of cable, and I watch TV on there every now and again. But you know, I'm an old person. You know, my mom had a huge impact on what I watched as a kid, and so even to this day, I like to watch a lot of America's Test Home Kitchen or Home Test Kitchen. Yeah, what do you go? America's Kitchen, whatever it's called. Because all the cooking shows, they all stream to my TV through the LG TV program. All of it is 4K definition. If you guys have ever seen a cooking show at 4K definition, it's a really cool thing. Especially because you guys know I'm dieting right now. What I have for breakfast is a smoothie plus a couple of hard-boiled eggs plus vitamins. Lunch, the exact same thing. And then dinner, I may have some chicken or something like that with some broccoli, some real, like, you know, pepper and salt, whatever. But that's pretty much all I've been eating lately. Besides, you know, coffee. And then I got these sparkling ice things that are, well, it's a whole bunch of 0% actually, but it's calories. It's like 5 calories for the can, so they're good. I think it's just whatever little flavor they add in there. 0 sugar with vitamins, antioxidants. Oh, I guess they add that type of stuff. But again, you know, looking at good food is great, especially when I can't eat it. But eventually I will be able to, so that'd be good. The last time I ate bad food was back in Vegas, and before that was smoothies. So a lot of smoothies and chia seeds and stuff like that. And I think I'm getting some energy back after my ear's been kind of, my ear's been getting fixed up here. All right. Okay, that's a pretty good timetable. Heck, I'm trying to do the same type of thing when I move to either Panama or Taiwan. Not Taiwan. Oh, geez, Thailand. I don't think I could live in Taiwan. Nothing against it. It's just every time I hear the news, there's some type of like, uh-oh, is this going to happen? This going to happen? This going to happen? I don't want to worry about any of that type of stuff. But anyway, all right, guys, let's get through it here. I'm just going to go right here and get kicked off. Excuse me. What the daily charts, you guys can see what I see. We did have a breakdown here. We did also have a breakdown here. At this point in time, you could see Bitcoin maybe coming back up today towards $59,951, basically $60,000, and maybe having a retest back into the zone. That would be a really good move. I am actually scaling out of a day trade I took earlier today. If you guys recall, over the past few days, I had been talking about different opportunities that I saw for buying. And really, I said if we came close to the 20-week moving average, I was going to take an opportunity to buy here. And what do we have? Oh, I guess I got to actually pinpoint this in here. Chart week. Okay, it's not going to show up perfectly, but you can see we got pretty close to it. So I thought we were slowing down a little bit. I was going to take an opportunity, and we did end up going up. I am pretty much out of the position right now, except for maybe 30-20%, and I'm going to see what happens here. For now, if we have one more test or nibble at the 20-week moving average over this weekend, perhaps, I will buy again to see what happens. My big fear here is that we just break through this really easily. I think we should at least test it for one whole week, which isn't this week, like actually like going through it a little bit more day by day, but eventually we kind of bounce off it. I'm hoping we can have that here. So I'm just sticking to day trading here, guys. Nothing too crazy. The leverage seems to be the way to make money right now, unfortunately. I'm hoping things get a little bit better, but you know, we'll see. That 4-hour chart, I'm just going to go through the time frames here instead of going through each individual chart. I was trying to actually, let me, can I copy, paste? There we go. Let's do a 50 here very fast. I want to get those moving averages because they actually do matter for the way I prefer to trade. And then I don't think this is, yeah, I want this set to chart. Set this to a chart. And I want to set this last one over here to a 200, also a chart. And then I just want to go to the traditional yellow, and there we are. Okay. Now, daily right here, still breaking down, no moving average to pay attention to right now. If you guys want to get more confident, you know, besides just the MACDs and stuff like that, because MACD still hasn't turned positive as much as I've been begging for it day by day. I am looking for an opportunity for us to get back above that 20-day moving average sometime in May. I think it's most likely going to happen sometime next week, probably after Sunday, excuse me, which is just a few days away from here. And we'll see what happens. I know you guys, oh, you guys can't see that. Next week is going to be a little bit more volatile. Not crazy, I don't think. I'm hoping. maybe more sideways activity or sideways grinding down. The week after that, CPI, PPI, that's where all the fun stuff's going to be happening here. Now, I don't have on the volume today, and I think that's going to be fine as far as like the trade system. If you guys want to see it, just let me know and I'll add it on there. It takes like less than a minute, I think. But that's kind of the gist here, guys. 4-hour chart, not looking for any breakouts anytime soon. If we do, I'll let you guys know. But that's up here around $63,000. The daily chart right now, we're at 63,000. It's basically the 20-day moving average here. The 20 is just a little bit above, but I'm betting, you know, it's going to be around the same time. 1-hour chart, nothing too crazy. Maybe a little bit of a golden cross type of situation here, but we're bouncing up. We're going a little bit higher. We'll see how this works out. There's a reason I sold off most of my trade earlier. I just wanted to buy low, sell high. I don't even think this is necessarily high, but you know, it's kind of spooky to be buying right now with all this volatility and the fact that we're hitting back up to that old level of support, now turning into a level of resistance. And plus, you know, Bitcoin isn't bullish by any stretch of the imagination, so it's going to be hard to consistently hold on to a trade longer and longer, for a time. Now, 1 hour is interesting. We may have an opportunity to break out here eventually. That could be kind of fun if you guys wanted to actually follow another trade, but that might only take you up here towards 61,000. So it's going to be something more of a $1,000 play on Bitcoin. So it's going to be something where you're using leverage. Leverage is going to be the key there. And the 15-minute here before we start going over other types of tokens and whatnot. 15, nice uptrend here. Pretty nice uptrend here. Waiting to see what's going to happen. You know, if we're going with the bearish theory here, because Bitcoin's bearish, we should be falling back down here, then trying to consolidate, then maybe making another move up. The fact that we're still kind of holding here, there may be an opportunity, if maybe next hour for us to break out, but it's a short time frame. Okay, let's see what Bitcoin can do, because you can even see here on the 5-minute chart, there is an attempt to push us up right now. It's not the greatest attempt, but it's happening. So you know, might as well try to see what you can do with it. I only have a small amount of exposure at this point when it comes to day trades. As far as everything else, you guys can see Ethereum still grinding on, nothing too crazy here. Not terrible, guys. You know, it's at a support level. If you guys want to buy, you guys can go ahead and do that. I think Ethereum is much more exciting to me than Bitcoin at this point. Solana also having a good moment here where it can actually break out above that 20-day moving average. Doesn't have that same volatility as a lot of other tokens when it comes to the 20-day like Bitcoin and whatnot. See how there's not as much volatility, but I think it still does a pretty decent job of giving you guys some leverage trade positions like a 5x, 3x, 4x, somewhere in there. Now, as far as some of the meme tokens that we've been watching, also double bottom perhaps here, maybe. Probably not, but we can see. DogeCoin had that breakdown a few days ago. It definitely was not the best thing. We did find a little bit of support around this 12-cent level, bouncing off of that. Again, there's some room for maybe 1 or 2 days of rest throughout this perilous time. Same when it comes to WIF and a lot of these other tokens that we've been watching, Bonk and whatnot. I don't know why, but the Lux algo system does not like meme tokens, so that's why you see all these kind of weird lines here. I don't know why it doesn't like the meme tokens as much. Maybe it's because of the low currencies or something. It actually does mess with some of the other tools on TradingView, but I just don't know exactly why. Now, Miro, all that type of stuff, having an opportunity. Dollar cost averaging is still the name of the game. Today, I will be dollar cost averaging a little bit more money in here, so that'll be kind of fun. Maybe towards the end of the stream. But we are seeing, you know, you're starting to see the patterns line up a little bit. So for altcoins primarily, you can even see SHIB. If we start getting a breakout here, people are going to be more likely to start buying it up. I'm not waiting for the breakout. I'm basically just waiting for dollar cost averaging. And you can even see right here, Pepe broke out. It's been kind of grinding here, but it could have been a lot worse based off of what Bitcoin was doing, right? You know, so this is also something I've been looking at here, mostly just dollar cost averaging. You know, a lady over here already broke. Well, this is actually a weird trend line. Actually, I would say it's gonna try to break out hopefully over the next few days, especially if Bitcoin gets a little bit of oomph back. And you know, while it's not completely likely, I see the setup here, and I might take some kind of crazy trades here with a low leverage and just a small amount of money to see if it can turn a small amount of money into a medium amount of money. Not like a large amount, but something medium. I could go for this actually this weekend here, guys. So I'm gonna mull it over while I'm probably at the cigar lounge. I'm probably gonna have to see. I don't want to have any smoke in my mouth or my nose, so I'm probably gonna have to sit outside and just have my drinks out there. They got some really good espresso, and they also got some really good, alcohol. Anything else I wanted to cover right now with you guys? A lot of you guys have questions and stuff. We can get to that in a little bit, but you know, Ajax, PHA is something I'm looking at right now. Fetch AI, you know, NMR, Pendle had a really bad day a few days ago. I'm buying some of these dips. I'm not going all in and stuff like that, but I've been buying for the past month and a half, 2 months now. I got a lot of exposure in some of these tokens, so I'm just kind of averaging down for the most part. For those of you guys looking for day trades and whatnot, I told you guys the 20-week moving average. I already kind of bought around that level. I already sold the majority of it off. I may have sold too early. It's a bad habit of mine. But again, you know, as we go over to the 15-minute chart, Bitcoin's trying to boom, still trying to go a little bit high. So if you're trying to buy for today, you can try to buy right now and have a stop loss around 58,638 and kind of see what happens. That's a little bit of, what, $600, $700 stop loss? Not terrible if you're hoping for about $1,500 gain on the day. But again, we're going to have to see how that works out. One other thing here, because now that we actually have access to all this stuff, let's go over here. This is the traditional chart that I have. Let's open this up right there. And I need to get rid of this and this. All right, so here are some of the Hong Kong ETFs for Bitcoin, just so you guys can see what's going on here. That's a weekly chart. There you go, 4-hour chart. Since Bitcoin hasn't been doing great, you can see they haven't necessarily been doing as much. But you know what? It's an interesting way to start looking at it because it's so new. This one was doing something before the ETF, so it kind of looks all junky. 3042 is the one I prefer to look at myself. This one just looks like it's a little bit better. This is the China Asset Management one. And you can see it did a gap down after that move with Bitcoin the other day. Basically, ETF opened up, Bitcoin went boom and down. You can clearly see that the price reacted to that. But overall, you know, it's the same type of move we've been seeing with Bitcoin. I believe when this opens back up here to later on tonight, you will see this come back up. So that'd be nice news for us, I believe. A few more things here because I just want to get all this like new stuff out of the way first. Back over here. Ooh, as I have hiccups over coffee. I'm probably talking. All right, there we go. CNBC futures are up a lot right now. That may be a good day for Bitcoin as well. That could be kind of cool. Apple announced its largest ever $110 billion share buyback as iPhone sales drop 10%. They are noticing that they are not doing so hot as a company, so they're just going to do buybacks. That's basically going to prop up the Apple price. That is going to be great if you're an Apple holder. I don't own much Apple anymore because I sold it because I saw their sales were going down in China, so I was like, nah, and it's been a good decision so far, but maybe I should be buying some more in here. But you can see Apple's making some news. Sony Apollo expressed interest in $26 billion Paramount buyout as company mulls Skydance bid. That's been pretty interesting. And Coinbase is making profit. That just kind of shows you more people are interested in trading cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. But again, Dow futures, S&P, NASDAQ, all doing great. Oil's up quite a bit too. That's interesting. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit later on today. And then the two crypto stories that I wanted to talk to you guys about very fast. BlackRock sees sovereign wealth funds pensions coming to Bitcoin ETFs. Let me get rid of the baby butt stuff. But oh, it won't let me pause it. Okay. Well, basically, it's trying to haunt me. There we go. Financial institutions are holding diligence and research conversations with BlackRock, playing an educational role, said Robert Michnick, the firm's head of digital assets. BlackRock has been talking about Bitcoin to these sorts of institutions for several years. While becoming the biggest spot Bitcoin ETF would be an impressive milestone, BlackRock says it isn't really focused on the size competition with Grayscale. They always are. I know a lot of people on Wall Street, or I have a lot of friends whose parents work on Wall Street, and they're all interesting characters. Let's just say that. Not bad, just interesting and hilarious in their own way. But they're competitive as hell. But yeah, so it looks like there's more interest with people trying to get into the Bitcoin market, even if it's just 0.5% or 1%. That's still a lot of money for the United States to be pouring into Bitcoin here, which is going to make things really, really nice for us. I'm just wondering how much they're going to trade versus just invest. You know, so are they going to try to trade the cycles because that's kind of a rocky roller coaster? Or are they going to try to day trade it? Probably not with pensions. Or are they going to try and just buy and hold for 10, 20 years and see where it goes and see if it's just a proper investment? There's a whole bunch of stuff there. I think that the problem with some of this is, you know, I would bet an old person might say, hey, why are you putting part of my pension into Bitcoin? You know what I mean? To be honest, I'd rather than put it into Bitcoin than any other token. But I could see that issue that may come up here, right? Now, the other one here, which is kind of interesting, this is Jack Dorsey. This is a Jack Dorsey story. Jack Dorsey's block is adding more Bitcoin to balance sheet, presents a roadmap for others. So basically what I got from this here is that, oh, here it is actually right there. Led by CEO Jack Dorsey, the company in April began using 10% of its monthly Bitcoin-related gross profit to buy additional Bitcoin, with plans to do this each month for the remainder of 2024. Now, what makes this so exciting for me is we're seeing these two stories, more people trying to buy Bitcoin, or more people being open to buying Bitcoin. Okay. We just had the halving. There's less Bitcoin out there right now. And as people continue to want to get into this trade, this system, this economy, if you will, you're going to see Bitcoin eventually have some really great booms. So another reason to why you guys should be dollar cost averaging and trying to hold on for the long term here. As bad as these past few weeks have been, and trust me, I completely understand, it's still good opportunity to do some dollar cost averaging here. Now, oil, dollar index and stuff like that, it's kind of in a mixed bag. Look at this though. Let me actually go over to the 1 hour chart. See what happened to the dollar index? Ooh, baby, yeah, we came crashing back down. Things are looking okay. No more rate hikes. Looks like we had to wait a little bit of time for that to come into place, but this is some good news. So now we might have an opportunity for Bitcoin to actually have a sweet boom punch here. And that's why I was talking about some of you guys may be looking to do some trading today. This is usually a short-term thing because you can see the volatility that has been happening over the past week or so. But if the dollar index is going to be going down into the weekend here, because remember, it's not open on the weekend, that gives us an opportunity. And then I just wanted to point this out to you guys as well. Oh, not the crypto version. Japanese yen to the dollar. You see how, remember how I told you we're at those 30-year lows? You know? See how we're trying to bounce? Well, there was some murmurings that the Japan is starting to take this seriously because they thought that this would save it. But then what ended up happening is it kept on coming back down. So they might be having to do more work here to boost it back up. So the Bank of Japan looks like it's artificially pumping up the yen, which is going to be great for Bitcoin. I didn't think it was going to happen this fast. I thought they might take a week or so. They must be really having some issues. So I just wanted to do one search here and type in Bank of Japan news coffee. You can see right here from Bloomberg, Japan likely spent around $23 billion in latest yen intervention. This was 16 hours ago. So that was this first move over here. So Japanese government spent $35 billion to prop up yen, Bank of Japan figures suggest. So that's even more than the 25. So, you know, looks like they're getting ready to do some stuff, and they are doing some stuff. Even though this is artificial, it still has ramifications in the rest of the market. So if that's making the dollar index go down, because again, Japan has the third largest economy. If it was a smaller economy, this would not matter as much, but because it's Japan, this is actually having a really good impact. So if you guys are wondering, one of the big reasons Bitcoin's going up and the stock market's going up, part of it is Japan is artificially pumping up their currency, which is making the dollar index go down, which is great for overall assets, whether you guys are in the stock market or the crypto market. And just, you know, thank the Bank of Japan before you go to sleep tonight. They're helping us out. The moment they stop, though, everything switches back to bearish. So hopefully we can get some technicals in here. The shorts that have been piling in over here, maybe they get stopped out. Maybe they're forced to cover because they're waiting for a longer move down here. Who knows? But there's a play here, guys. There's a play for today and later on. I would say for those of you guys that want to still day trade, like I said before, I would be okay with buying right now and having a stop loss around 58,632. And then, yeah, just kind of playing it out and seeing where it goes from there. That's kind of the play I see for right now. And as long as the dollar index is staying good, I'm happy with it. I would still have that stop loss, though. I'd still have that stop loss, okay? Now, let's go over here to the 50-minute chart because I do want to see if we're able to make a larger move here. Well, let's see, because it looks like we're ranging right there, right? Range, a little bit of support right here, not enough, but maybe even all the way down here around 58,000. So maybe you have the support not at 58,600. Maybe you have the support around here, 58,249. that might be something. But you're seeing those two golden crosses happening right there, a little bit of death cross. It can go sideways for a little bit before making that move. But 4-hour chart, 20 moving average. We like to have a little bit of pops and flares up here. Even if it's a shorter term move, you can always move up that stop loss just to protect yourself. Oops, and let me get rid of that right there. All right, perfect. All right, so there's some opportunity today. There's definitely some opportunity. Was there anything else I wanted to talk to you guys about? Besides that, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update about what's going on here. Everything is pretty much up over the last 24 hours. Things like Toncoin is up 9%, DogeCoin's up 5%, Sheeb's up 4%, AVAX is up 3.5%. Looking pretty good. There have been some surprises though. AAR up 24%, Bonk up 17%, Pepe up 14%. Again, after having some bad moves, but still doing well. Wormhole, Helium, Immutable, IMX, Jupiter, Core, Dog with Hat. Strong moves here. Also had really bad last few days, but again, Genesis and Cospa are still down today, which is kind of interesting. But overall, most things are working out pretty well for us. And then just for later on, because I know I'm gonna forget if I don't do it now. Go over here. There we go. All my poor red trades right now. In a few weeks or however long it takes, everything is going to be red and it's going to be so great. But for now, it's green. So green is going to be so great. Right now, it's not looking great. You can see the one trade that's really good right now is Bonk. And you can see my average right now for Bonk is down here. And it's definitely starting to go sky high at this moment in time with an official breakout that happened a few days ago. So, a few hours ago. So, you know, there's some plays here. I do have to dollar cost average into a lot of this stuff though, because remember a lot of this is 2x and 3x leverage. So you can see right here with the, my Floki average is over here. Maybe I should actually add maybe another $50. Again, I'm not going all in on this type of stuff, but just moving some of those averages down a little bit, I think does do a little bit of good. But just, you know, just like that. So when eventually we get back above that, I'll be happy. Looks like we're heading closer for a golden cross here on Floki for a nice move up on the 4-hour chart. You know, what else am I looking at? What else is really down? That's the thing. Injective, excuse me. This one's down a lot. I haven't dollar cost averaged this in a hot minute. Again, let's just do another $50 here just to kind of see where it goes. Anything else here? 80, no. Looks like Looks is down quite a bit here. Looks and SLP, but SLP is a 3x leverage play, so probably not going to be putting too much more money in there. Okay, let's go Looks here. Yeah, the average is down here. This one, I just can do 25 here. I think eventually this will have a larger move. If you go over here to the daily chart, you'll see that, you know, it's kind of a crazy move down, and I haven't invested so much money in here just yet. So maybe next Thursday I'll do a bit more, but while everything is still down here, and again, when you zoom out to the daily charts, whatnot, you're like, oh yeah, we are really a lot further down. I feel a lot more confident about doing the dollar cost averaging right now. Like right now, maybe anything else. What's kind of on the edge here? True token. Okay, I'm on the edge with True token, only down a little bit here. Looks like I probably bought over here last time. And let's just do a nice, no, not 50. Let's just go 25 again. And buy up there. I'll probably do maybe a couple more trades here. Anything else? SLP, maybe that one's looking okay. The dollar cost averaging has definitely been rough. But I mean, we're hitting a kind of a typical bottom right here. So maybe I should do, let's do 35 here. This one's a little bit different just because it is a 3x long and not a 2x long. So I'm paying a little bit more in fees for this one. So I'm hoping this one eventually makes me a lot of money. And then Ape token. This one's been slammed, guys. Slammed a lot. You guys can see the last time I bought was way over here. I'll toss in $75 into this one. Buy that up. And it should come down quite a bit here. I don't know if I put a lot of money into this. Yeah, I didn't put a lot of money into this one this time. And then see what happens. But now let's go over here. See if Bitcoin makes a move. I'm hoping we can break back above that 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart. So I'm just going to move this over here to a 4-hour chart. And there we go. That's that current level of resistance that I think we're going to be able to break above today and have a trade. So that'll be a fun day trade for those of you guys looking for one, I would say, right? But again, this is all still part of a bearish move. So we're going to need some really good news here to keep this going. But right now, a big chunk of this is the dollar index going down, 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 down. Okay, so I'm hoping this continues to go down, and that's kind of a big portion of the trade we're looking at right now. Since we already kind of broke down below that support level of 59,000, I'm just going to remove that just because I don't like to see the line in the middle of everything. But yeah, let's see what can happen here, guys. And hey, Robert, happy to see you. Hey, DeVal. What's right there? And then Robert, dump below the Bitcoin price goes down. Other people get scared, so they all sell at a loss, snowball, then you start buying back slowly at a much cheaper price than you dump profit. Well, yeah, I mean, that's why the majority of us, well, at least the people that, at least me, I would say, I like to dollar cost average. No matter what's happening, I'm usually buying a little bit every week. I buy it just like here, except for I usually buy a little bit more. I am going to buy a little bit, maybe a little bit more later on tonight, but you know, it's going to be stuff like RLC, some of those lower market cap AI tokens, like this one. Actually, I'm just going to put a whole $100 into that one and see where it goes. Now, I could always go down lower and whatnot. You can see all those moves and whatnot, but you know, AI tokens have been a big money maker for me over the last, really since I guess the October boom. They've been making me a lot of money, so I'm going to continue to put some money into those for round 2 here, especially things like, you know, RLC, FA, those smaller market cap tokens, then even some of the larger ones like WorldCoin, things like that. Because remember, WorldCoin started up by Sam Altman. I think that one's going to do a lot of good, I don't know if there's World Token on here, WLD. Let me see if they added on here. They do have it on here. Do I not have a position in this one right now? No, I don't, and it's down quite a bit. So let's open up a 250 long with a 2x leverage to kind of catch up here. And I'll see, because this is at $4 right now, $4.66. Just a few weeks ago, it was at $12. I did a pretty good trade on this, I think, a while ago. Let me see. Going through my previous trades here, and there's Bitcoin, Ape, a lot of test ones in here too. There it is. Yeah, so I bought some on the 12th of January, and I bought some on the 8th of February, and then also a little bit more on the 27th of February as well. Then I sold it all on March 2nd, and I made about $500 off of it. So it was a pretty good trade. That's after all the fees from trading with leverage and holding it. So, but when did I? Yeah, so I bought it at $2.93, and then I sold it for $8.29. You know, now again, after I sold it, it went all the way up to $12.20, but I still bought down here at $2.29 and whatnot, and I sold it up here, and it went back down below. Might as well toss some more money back into it. You know what I mean? So again, if we can get a nice little rally out of this thing, I'll be happy. Even if I have to wait for another jump or something like that, I'll still be very happy with the price. Hey, nice. Funny thing, Bitcoin came from Silk Road. Any of you think for a minute that any of that cash moved to altcoins and pump and dump, then move all that into Bitcoin? That's, people usually try to move over to the safety of Bitcoin, but for me, I always like to put it into a stable coin because Bitcoin's going down to, you know, you could stake that money if you really wanted to. I don't. I just kind of leave it in there. Then once the dip starts to happen, I just start dollar cost averaging back in there. Literally, the week after I sold all that Bitcoin from the December and January and February dollar cost averaging that we did, I literally started buying up assets the following week. And now it's been going down since, don't get me wrong, it's not like the best thing in the world, but I know when this thing does pick back up here, it's going to be absolutely great and I'll be making some good money. Most traders out there, they might not dollar cost average. They may just be trying to do smaller swing trades and day trades and stuff like that. And that's fine, but just make sure you guys are keeping track of how much money you're making and losing, because if you guys are consistently losing, that just means you need to switch something up. And typically, you know, there's tons of strategies out there for you guys to test out. I have videos on my channel giving you guys my strategies. Mine are not viewed as the best, I would say, because I'm not talking about buying the very bottom. I'm talking about buying right before a larger move. So you kind of buy, then it goes boom for a little bit and you sell, and it might even go higher after you sell, which happens a lot to me. But your overall portfolio went up so much, you're like, oh yeah, great. Now I can do this again and again and again and again and again. That's the way I prefer to go about it. But you know, it's not the sexiest way to trade. And trust me, if you guys want to see some real cool trading, go over to Crypto Faces channel. The guy goes wild with it. And he's not doing anything like necessarily crazy strategy wise, but he's just investing so much money that, and like the way he's so calm about it, it'll open you up your eyes a little bit here. Now, right now, Bitcoin's just trying to break out here, which is kind of a nice move. Let me see if I can actually draw a little bit of a rectangle here. There we go. Just so I can show you guys what's going on here. That's that current level of resistance that we're trying to break out above. I don't see too much here. I mean, maybe a little bit of an ascending triangle or something like that. But I think for now, let's just kind of see what happens here with Bitcoin. Athena, what's Athena here? Curl fold up. And hey, Mattis, happy to see you back. Happy to see all of you guys. Hey, nice. Right now, DogeCoin is doing a little bit okay. It's basically just trying to pop off here in a similar way of Bitcoin. The only thing about this one is you can see the 4-hour chart. It did have this larger breakdown here a few days ago, so maybe this will be a little bit of a hidden resistance around 13.67. For me, I would say it has a good opportunity of just trying to get back up here to the 50 over the next few days or so, if Bitcoin can keep this rally going. But that's the 50 on the 4-hour chart. The 50 on the daily chart is a little bit of a different story here. But it looks like we're trying to do a curl, then a dip and a fall for most assets. And that's really unless we can get some good news here from the rest of the market. Because again, inflation's still hot, things like that. Maybe things can quiet off a little bit here. But again, there's been a lot of news in the market. With the stuff that we don't usually care about, that's the factor here. We normally don't care about what's happening with the Japanese yen. We don't normally care about the dollar index all too much. We kind of like have an understanding which way it's going, but we don't look at it every day. Maybe I do, but I'm a nerd about this type of stuff. But for right now, guys, if you guys are just joining in, all we're waiting for right now is Bitcoin to have this small breakout and then try to break out above this 20 moving average right here. This is a 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart. If we can get that move, I think we're going to be in a good spot here for Bitcoin to try to get back above $61,000 by the end of today, which will just be a really good move for the daily candle to really start adjusting those technicals to not maybe go sky high and up, but at least go sideways. And sideways is better than going down. It gives you an opportunity to start buying up more tokens, and that sideways action builds more confidence. People looking for opportunities to buy because they're afraid that, oh, it might not fall down anymore, so I better start buying now, and then it'll eventually go up. So that starts to have a little more buying pressure with the overall market. And hey, I'm very happy to see my man. What do you call it? What do I got? I got my Hawaiian shirt on right now today. And I got Loki some treats here, which is, he's been loving these things here. Hold on a second here. And hey, TYM, thanks for joining thanks for subscribing, man. Here you go, Loki. Come here. Oh. He has this proper way of coming over here. Come here. Oh, I see you're looking. Okay, come here. I'll give you. Alright. I was waiting for Kilo to join the stream, but he's not in here right now. So what do you call? I'll give Loki this now. But basically, oh hey Vegas Nick, happy to see my man. What do you call it? Here we go. This is one of Loki's favorite treats. Basically, it's a bone of meat, bone with meat on top of it. I don't know why he likes it so much, but he likes it. Loki, oh. Yeah. You can't just keep sipping it. Come on. Yep. If you're not going to take it, don't act distracted. Oh, uh-huh. Okay, here you go. No, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it right now. No? Do you want the smaller one? No. Never mind. He doesn't want the bone. Now I got to wipe my hands off. This is why I have disinfectant wipes by me. But what do you call it? He doesn't want the bone. But you want the lamb. Oh. Oh. So you're looking for lamb today. Alright, alright, alright. There we go. Alright. Let's go back over here. Bone with meat. Belly's full. Yeah, he is kind of full. He's been snacking on his stuff, but normally he likes that type of stuff. Even if he just drags it away till his room, he'll usually eat it. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it on the ground though, so he can actually snack on it if he wants to. Because he just kind of gnaws on it, right? It's just raw meat. Actually, there you go. I'll see if he actually eats it or not in a little bit. But I think because he has options right now, I think he's choosing to go back for the lamb over the beef. And he does love lamb over beef, that's for sure. to here. There we go. All right. If it's a dog, it'll want the bone. Well, normally he takes them. I don't know. Normally he takes them. But not my problem for right now. I guess what the last few things he's been the duck heads. Duck heads are great though. All he's doing is sniffing them. All right, there we go. So right now, actually, we are seeing Bitcoin trying to actually have a breakout right here, which is actually some pretty good news. Does he react to the line video behind you? I think that's what he was actually looking at. So he might have been a little bit distracted by that. Normally he enjoys the wolf videos though, because the wolf videos basically it's just some wolf howling and whatnot. But I have you see that little circle above my head right there? It kind of goes on and off to make sure the OLED system doesn't break or whatever the screen. But it's muted, so he can't hear anything going on. Normally I have like a dog TV playing for him, so you can like kind of watch squirrels and whatnot. And the cat comes over and watches it with him. They're pretty chill. All right, so right now, guys, the goal is to see Bitcoin break out over the next few minutes here. I think it's possible. And while Bitcoin's only up 0.72%, we have a lot of stuff up more than that. We have Solana up 2% right now. Also looking at a lot of the similar patterns here, guys. DogeCoin, similar pattern. Actually, DogeCoin's having a better time of it than Bitcoin right now. WIF, big move right here. WIF is trying to break out. Bonk right here, similar pattern. Actually, WIF is already broken out here, actually. Bonk is already broken out. Miro also making some good. So a lot of altcoins. This is baby DogeCoin not having the best day compared to Bitcoin. STMX. A lot of tokens are actually already having their breakouts, while Bitcoin is still struggling to do it. So maybe to me that means that Bitcoin actually does have an opportunity here to make that move. You can see Ape token right now going up, really nice. Just after we bought a little bit more of it. Arbitrum come back up. AXS coming up. BNB. We got Floki's up 3.5% so far today. Now still looking to break out, so this could go a little bit higher here. And then we got Sushi, Spell, all making this, like all the charts look exactly the same right now, which is hilarious, but it happens more than you think, right? NMR, Fetch AI. Fetch hasn't broken out just yet, but looks okay. PHA is looking okay. Looks like this one may break out. Ajax making a move. World token, pretty good as well. After we just dollar cost averaged that one. See me, Render, and then RLC. Ocean. We're seeing some positive moves here, everybody. Having some really good moves here. There you go. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is just struggling from going sideways. It's not like going down or anything, but it's definitely everybody's waiting to see what's exactly going to happen. Because again, there are some shorts waiting to be squeezed here. So if we can get that opportunity good for us, I think we're in a good spot. It may take like an hour or something at the worst, but I think we're there. And hey, nice, thank you very much for the super chat, my man. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'd be happy to help you out. What are your thoughts on Bonk and where it could do this blow run? A newer token, I think, has lots of room. I like Bonk a lot. I'm not entirely sure of where the top of it can go, but basically what I've been doing is I've just been getting more and more exposure with it. I dollar cost average into it every week, and it's been one of those tokens where it's been making me a good amount of money if I just buy and hold, basically. It's kind of like the book of meme here. Some of these newer tokens, I do like them a lot more than some of the older ones, just because they have like the sky's the limit, so to speak. So while I am dollar cost averaging a lot of the original meme tokens like the DogeCoins and the Sheeps, at this point when it comes to dollar cost averaging, I'm putting a lot more money into things like book of meme or the one you were just talking about, Bonk and whatnot, and even like Pepe and stuff like that. I'll put a lot of money into those ones. Well, maybe not Pepe as much, but I am putting money into Pepe. Do you think we drop a little bit more? Right now, overall, Bitcoin is bearish. One of the reasons we're having such a good time, though, is because the Bank of Japan, and I know this is kind of weird because we don't talk about this stuff all too much, unless you guys are here like on a daily basis, but the dollar index has been all over the place these last couple weeks for a couple of different reasons. I'm not going to go into every single reason, but one of them was basically the Japanese yen was in complete free fall against the dollar. It went to like a historic 30-year low, basically. And that triggered the dollar index to start soaring and going very, very high because, again, we're the number one economy in the world, the United States. Japan is the third largest economy. So as their currency goes down, our currency gets bolstered up. And this is for a lot of other countries as well. But it got so bad that basically the Japanese central banks, the Bank of Japan, they were having to buy up their own currency to prop up the price. And that is good for Bitcoin because it causes the dollar index to come back down, because the dollar index going down is good for Bitcoin. The dollar index going up is not good for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin crashed the other day and had a really bad day, we broke down below that support level and whatnot. the dollar index was soaring. So this was the dollar index. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. There you go. This was happening to Bitcoin, right? At the same time, the yen against the dollar was crashing. So you get my point. Now we had this move right here, and then Bitcoin started to stabilize a little bit over the past couple days. See this right here, stabilize, and now we're going back up a little bit more, trying to have a breakout, trying to have a good day. And what's happening? This all of a sudden is breaking down here and starting to come down even more. So we can see Bitcoin maybe have 1 or 2 more days of good moves here. Really, it's kind of a more fundamental issue of like, hey, what is the Bank of Japan really going to do? If they keep on pressing down on this and pressing up, I guess, in the yen and pushing down on the dollar, that's good news for us. That can extend this rally probably back up towards $64,000, $65,000. But will they do that? I don't know. And I don't think they're going to do it on the weekend either. So this would have to happen sometime today, tomorrow, and then this weekend we could see Bitcoin come screaming back down and then fall, maybe coming back up Monday or Tuesday. So there's a lot of weird stuff that can happen here, but this is still going to be something that I would call a day trader's market. I wouldn't necessarily be saying this is like the best time in the world to try to do swing trading unless you guys have a stop loss there. And again, if you're swing trading or day trading, your stop losses are probably going to be around 58,000. Or if you really want to give it a long multi-week type of hold from here, your stop loss is going to be around $56,000, $57,000. Which is a pretty large one, but again, it shouldn't be terrible. Moving some stuff back over to the side. Bitcoin dominance is 54%. Let's see, there you go. New meme coin from South Park, Crypson Base. Oh, I haven't heard of that one yet before. Do I see 52? 52 is basically if the economy shows a lot more inflation than we want to. So if you want to see 52,000, what basically will have to happen here is we're going to have on the 15th, there's the CPI data. That CPI data is going to be very, very hot. So far, it's been hotter than expected, and that's definitely had a horrible impact on Bitcoin's prices and the prices of a lot of other assets out there. But why isn't that? Okay, there it was. It was just taking a couple seconds. There you are. So you see this chart right here, how inflation's going sideways. You know, in January, February, March, we were supposed to be like below 3%. We were supposed to be doing a lot better, basically. That's the gist of it. And we're not doing better. Inflation's starting to go back up. We haven't had this high of inflation since last September. You know, if we get back up to above 3.7 next month, that means we're going to go all the way back to May of 2023, which would be horrible. One of the reasons that the market is doing a little bit better as far as Bitcoin coming back up quite a bit over here, the dollar index coming back down a little bit, the stock market getting a little bit more breathing room, is because yesterday Jerome Powell was so freaking dovish and he was like, oh yeah, we're not going to raise rates. We have no reason to raise rates. Everything is fine. We're just going to leave it for higher for longer and kind of wait this sucker out. And so I was like, okay, well, at least we know we don't have any more rates. That's a weight lifted off our shoulders. Everybody was kind of happy with it. But if we start to have this inflation higher and higher and higher, he's going to have to backtrack again to try to get this fixed up. Remember, he declared victory on inflation back over here, back in November, October, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 hot. I think it's not like, it's not even like it's a massive expectations blow, but it matters when everybody feels like it's going to be one way and it's not. Back over here for February, everybody thought it was going to be 3.1%. It was 3.2. Back in April, everybody thought it was going to be 3.4%. It was 3.5%. Not good, not good. Inflation is getting worse and worse and worse. We want it to go down. If it goes down, then we can finally have some rate cuts. And you think rate cuts are going to help Bitcoin? Oh boy, wait to see what it does with altcoins, because once we start to have some cuts, altcoins are going to be thriving and giving us all a lot of hope here, a lot of money, but we have to wait for that. And I think this is kind of the weird thing about this cycle is we're not used to having to care about rates. Usually when we worry about inflation and rates coming from the Federal Reserve, nothing's happening. Let's see. Federal funds rate. Okay, let's go to max. Okay. Now this isn't the max, so why is that? There we go. Okay. You guys can see this chart. I know my head's blocking part of it, whatnot. But you guys can see over here, 2012, you know, Bitcoin originally having that really nice big old move here. 2015, 16, 17, 18, and whatnot. Now, rates were pretty low. 15, 16, 17. 18 is when we got a little bit higher. 19, the end of 2018. So the end of 2018, right here, things were looking okay. 2018, still not good, but you know, fine. Back over here a bit more, lower, but a lot of lower rates during that time frame. I wish I could take off this. I need to take off the 20 here. It looks really bad. There we are. Back over here. And at that time, we only went to 2.5, okay? And that was in 2019, 2.5. The stock market threw a tissy fit there, basically, right here. I know it's kind of hard to see. Actually, I can do like this. There you go. The stock market threw a tissy fit back in 2008, 2019, so he paused. And that you can see over here when it comes to the NASDAQ, basically. Let's go to a monthly chart here. Let's go there. Figure all those lines for a second. See this thing that happened in 2018? Tissy fit. Everybody grew mad and angry about it. So the market came down, he gave up, and the market started to go right back up again. COVID. What happened during COVID? 0, 0, 0, 0. And again, you kind of saw that rally that came on here. Now, it's not the only factor that goes into the stuff. We also have the halving, things of that nature. But inflation, like, you know, inflation caused us to go sky high because if you guys recall, the government and the Fed said basically this is transitory, so nobody took it seriously for a while. Then they had to play catch up, and this catch up is still having consequences to us for us today. If we had 1% interest rate, or you know, like 0% interest rates, like we did for the most of the time, Bitcoin would already be over $100,000 right now. But it's not, because you know we spend too much. It's our problem. We deal with it, you know. But an easy way to get this back down is if this also just goes down here. I wanted to see if there's, no, I wish there was more forecast data here, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. No. Okay, but you guys get the point here. We're going to need to see some good news here, and we're just not seeing it just yet. This is there we go. 5. Now, on short-term time frames, you can see Bitcoin coming back down here, getting rejected off of this level of resistance. You'll probably see altcoins also doing the similar thing right now. Not the end of the world, but again, Bitcoin's the big boy right now. We're going to have to see this actually have a breakout. There's not really good support levels that are anchored in right now because we've been making higher lows for the most part, and not so much those, what would you say, like, you know, those bottoming offs where we're having, you know, multiple lows testing out like we have right here with the hard level of resistance. We don't have a hard level of support. See me. And hey, Wilder, being patient is tough. I want to buy an island now. I don't even want to buy an island. I just want to buy, oh, I don't even know. I don't even know what I want to buy anymore. I want to buy some jewelry or something. I'm not entirely sure. Just some simple stuff. Or you know what? I want to buy more suits. I want to buy more suits. I want to buy some nice coffee. I want to buy a really nice espresso machine, like one that's like $10,000 or something. That's like handcrafted wood and shit. That's what I do. What do you call it? I'm buying my sister an espresso machine for her birthday present. And it's gonna be like 500 bucks, something like that, but I know she's gonna love it, and it'll save her so much money. And I told her the money she saves from that, she should invest it in a cryptocurrency. So it'd be awesome there. But you know, Starbucks is having a horrible week of it right now. Horrible week. Nobody's buying their coffee. Everybody says it's overpriced, and that's a really bad experience. And I was watching the news, and this was on Bloomberg, which is a little bit more of a boring station, but they make some good points, I think, as well. They were talking about how if you go into their data and how they kind of have it presented, the morning people who get their coffee, they seem to be still buying up coffee every morning. The problem is there's afternoon people who buy coffee, like me, who drink coffee in the afternoon. That type of people isn't going to Starbucks anymore because it's just kind of too expensive and people can't afford it. Now, I've been making my own coffee and stuff since COVID. So, you know, you couldn't go out and do your stuff that you wanted to do. But I encourage everybody to go and make their own coffee instead of going to Starbucks. Like, you can get coffee at the store anytime you want, like a, you know, Starbucks or a Bigfoot Job or whatever place you got. You can do it every now and again. But if you do it daily for work, oh, it's thousands of dollars a year, thousands and thousands of dollars. I think Solana and Base have a good deal on South Park memes. Solana has been a crazy place for memes, meme tokens this cycle around. I would say if you find a token on there, you can definitely go for it. But I would just say be very, very careful because, again, all of these tokens, especially the newer ones that have lower markups, they're so damn risky. They're just so damn risky. So you guys have to understand that before you get in there. Once Bitcoin sends, Mike be buying diamond lace suit. No, not like that. Next up, I'm buying some summer linen. So I got to buy myself some summer suits. Basically like a pair of trousers and a, not even a suit, just a pair of trousers and a sports coat and maybe a bespoke shirt. That way it's nice and breathable and whatnot. It looks really good. And I already got enough jewelry. I got this little pendant thing. I got the chain along with it, and I got the rings and whatnot. That's about it. I don't need to go all Johnny Deppified and going going crazy with everything. Gonna buy a nice monitor then. Ooh, it's worth having a good monitor. I recently I guess I have all these three, but I synced up all the refresh rates now, so I'm hoping that'll help out with any of my issues I have with gaming. Maybe that'll do the trick, because if that's having an issue, now I know. Now, it's not exactly the same, but what I might need to do is, instead of having this wider monitor here, right there, I may have to get another wide monitor that has the proper refresh rate. These ones over here on my left, they're 165. This is like 99.5. What a weird number, I know. But if I can get a very wide one, you know, I may go for it. I think they're just kind of expensive right now. Like if I wanted to go here to wide monitor, oh, I didn't spell, okay, whatever. Wide monitor, 165, ultra wide, there we go. See, that's 160 hertz. I need 165. It's very weird to try to look for one that you really want. Oh, Best Buy, there we go. The Odyssey might not be bad. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, but it's also like $800. This one might not be that $400 basically. It's on sale right now. This one might not be that bad because all I need it for, it's not for gaming. These ones are actually gaming ones I have over here, but it's mostly just to make sure my computer behaves with my my graphics card. That's the only thing I think I'm having issues with right now. There's one too, a little $10 more, but this could be interesting. Samsung Odyssey G5. Yeah, I mean, this clearance 165. Oh, it's sold out. Recycle and save 10%. Yeah. So I think it's going to be interesting there. I'll probably give this to my sister or something, or if I get another computer here pretty soon, I'll just have it for that computer. But it's been a rough one. Maybe just one diamond. Maybe I'll get a diamond. Yeah, maybe I'll just get one diamond. Maybe, you know what? I'll get a watch with one diamond inside of it. That could be kind of cool. Normally what I have is I like to have rubies or emeralds or sapphire. I've always liked something a little bit more colorful than a diamond. I don't know why, but I've always liked it. Like right now, this has 2 rubies in it. Absolutely love this thing. If I could buy a Nissan Skyline and be happy, those nice cars right there. 140 any size coffee at McDonald's, and it's really, really good. I just don't like waiting in lines at McDonald's. The only thing I have against McDonald's is the line can be kind of rough. But cheap, good coffee, yeah, go for it. I mean, heck, that's why I like to go to my cigar lounge, because they give me espresso shots for $1. You know, it works out. Yeah, you got a good habit right there, Vegas Nick. NAJB, gone to crap on 46 today and bought my first cup of coffee pot ever. Oh my gosh, dude. It's not that difficult, trust me. Like once you get the habit of it, it's really nice. But man, it just saves so much money. If you really want to go for that nicer tier espresso and you want to save some money, like maybe like shots of coffee and stuff like this instead of like cup of black, I'd recommend to go with the Gaja Classic Pro. This was my first machine. And they're really, really nice. They're like $450. This is what I'm buying my sister, basically. Looks like that. 3 buttons. Let it heat up. Let the shot come out. And then if you want to froth up some milk and stuff like that, you can do it. Very simple process. But there is like a lot more cleaning involved, and you got to descale everything a little bit more than normal. So, you know, it's a process, but I like it. I like it. I like it. Live like no other so you can live like no other. What do you call we're all weird people here, you know, we're all crypto people. Gotta have some good times. Get the Mr. T jewelry. Oh no, that'd be freaking crazy. Am I gonna quit my old job? Oh wait, you already did. I could never go back to corporate work. I could never ever go back to corporate work. Like I cannot stress to you guys how horrible it was, like here, to go from Tacoma to Seattle every day for work. Like here, I showed you guys this before, but there's a train, and I used to live at this. Remember that this little place over here with a nice view of the water. Go from here to here. Oh hell no! Oh god. Plus, I just hated the job. I hated my boss. All of the people that worked below me, they loved me. So when they let me go, there was a huge just riot. So my boss got fired for letting me go. I was like, ha ha ha. But what do you call it? It was just definitely a really weird thing because, well, it wasn't even like necessarily my boss's fault because he was like pandemic stuff, but nobody liked the boss. So it was kind of an excuse to like not like the boss. It was weird. Isn't that espresso? Yeah. If you want to get the Gaja Classic Pro, oh yeah, it's espresso. It's good. They have 2 types of puck styles. I forget what they're called, but basically they have one that's really easy to use. It's like, you know, a child-friendly version, which is very simple. You don't got to do a whole bunch of maintenance on it. And then they also have the other one, which is if you guys know how to finally grind your coffee to a specific size, it really goes a long way. But if you buy that $400, $500 machine, you're probably going to have to buy like a $200 grinder for it just to get the coffee grounds just right. It's not going to work with a cheap grinder, so it's a little bit different. Recommend any coffee? I always recommend going to your local coffee shop. There's always going to be some hippie shop around. Go get their beans. They're going to be 10 times better than anything you find in the store. And they're always fresh. They're always good quality beans there as well. So, you know, go grab a single shot, see if you like the flavor of it, and they'll be happy to like, help you up. And they're like, yeah, I'm looking to buy some coffee beans. And like, which ones do you use here? Can I try a shot of it? You know, they're pretty chill. See me. You got to cure it with a reusable pod, not buying pods if that. No, what do you call, I mean, I just buy pods. I have a bunch of pods for the Keurig upstairs, but it's mostly for the guest. I have reusable pods. I know that. I just don't use them. Maybe I should. I'll give it a shot. You know, I usually have espresso beans, so what if I put my espresso beans in that little puck and then have it in there? Maybe it could be interesting. Could be interesting there. Espresso cappuccino with a creamer and pop it in. If it works, my man. As long as you're saving money. I watched Jeff Williams on YouTube. He does gold prospecting. Ooh, that could be kind of fun. Stupid boss letting you go. His biggest mistake. Well, I got offered my job back, but at that point I was like, no. Again, there are perks to having a downtown corporate job in Seattle. Don't get me wrong. You know, I had a second phone with a cell phone stipend. They paid for all my transportation. They paid for my flights everywhere that I went, which is pretty cool. You know, when I went to go all my work trips, all that. And they paid for like everything while I was there. It was really, really cool. Corporate card, whatever. I got to hire a lot of people. I got to be responsible about a whole bunch of people. It was a really good experience. It's just that, like, remember, I got ADHD. It takes me so much longer to do anything compared to most of you guys. If you guys have a 9-to-5 job, you guys can probably finish up that job at 9 to 5. I'm working from like 9 to 8 or something like that because I just can't. I don't have that mental ability to work effectively. I just don't. So that's why, you know, when remember I told you guys I've been on that video for like the top 10 tokens. The more I work, and I don't consider this work, just kind of talking, having a conversation, giving you guys my personal opinions and doing some technical analysis. That's not work to me, which is why I like trading so much. If I have to work, the longer I work, the more my head hurts. And when I'm focusing, my head is hurting more and more and more. So I just don't do it. I don't do it. So if I have to work nowadays, it's usually me talking. That is the work that I'm doing. When Opus Clip flew me out to Vegas a couple weeks ago to go talk about their product and whatnot and go talk people, I was just talking. I'm just talking. I ain't doing anything else. If you guys like, that's what I like. Maybe some of you guys want to talk and do that type of work, but if I get paid for talking, I am all for it. You know, when I do my trading, you know, I don't have to really do anything. In my mind, all the hard work was just learning how to do it. And so, sure, it can be kind of chaotic at times with the way the market's going, but talking, oh no, that's so much easier than doing all other jobs. If I get beans to grind, can those go in the coffee filter part too? Oh yeah, definitely. The only real difference, I think, is just the coarseness of the coffee that you're grinding. So if you're looking for a high quality grinder, here, this would be the one that you're looking for. I know it's not crypto related, but bear with me. Espresso grinders. So if you're looking for espresso, this does both. But here's one. This is one of the ones I got. It's like $400. They have cheaper ones, more expensive ones. Don't worry about this pricing per se. This is if you just want espresso. But it's this one. Baratza Set. I can't pronounce that. 270 espresso grinder. They have even better ones that go even crazier. But basically, they're really, really cool. They're really, really nice on the countertop, and they get the coffee just right. All of this stuff like this one's $7 grinder. This is $1,000 grinder. They get really crazy up there for espresso lovers. It's a crazy hobby to get into. $3.99 right here. If you want the 30 one right here, this also works pretty well. That's $299. They're all good quality if you ask me. I don't have any problems with any of these ones as far as the ones I've tried. But if you just want a drip coffee makers, no, I just want a grinder. There you go. Coffee grinders, there you go. They have cheaper ones right here, but you can see how the same ones show up again here. I like having that really quality one just because you can control everything about the size, and you'd be surprised how the coarseness of your coffee really, the grinds really affects the flavor. So as time goes on, you can test out all the grind sizes and you can see what exactly is your perfect favorite cup of coffee for each type of bean. Take notes on it. Eventually you're going to remember it. I have a horrible memory, so I don't do it like that. I just notes. But it goes a long way. You can get that perfect cup of coffee every single time. It is absolutely amazing. And for somebody like me who just is not a morning person, I stay up very, very late. When I wake up, I'm like, ooh, I gotta stretch, get up, take a shower, let Loki out, all that type of stuff. It's nice just knowing when I make my cup of coffee, I'm gonna have a smile when I drink it. I'll look over my balcony, I'll look at the woods behind my house, and I'll be like, damn, life is pretty darn good, isn't it? It's that type of feeling. Literally every morning during COVID, I made myself an espresso. I looked out over the waterfront because I lived right on the water, and I was like, damn, life was good. Life was good. Something about a good morning espresso, good morning latte, if you like to have a little bit of milk or something inside of it, hits that perfect spot right there. Took my daughter to the mall last week in Starbucks and Lululemon. The bill for those two places was over 600 plus bucks. Oh my gosh, Anonymous, that is freaking absolutely crazy. I don't know how to be able to do that. I don't know how to be able to do that. Like, sure, I've spent over 600 bucks at like buying clothes and stuff before, but it's usually like higher, you know, it's like a suit or something tailored, you know, to me. Oh my God. Now, what do you call it? Starbucks? You know, for my grandfather every year, I get him a Starbucks gift card or a Bean subscription service. And one of those two is usually really nice for him, and he likes it. Maybe even a Bigfoot Java. It's our coffee stands here with like. People don't say it, but Washington State, we have like 1,000 different coffee places. If I went over to Seattle very fast, maps Tacoma, and let's get rid of all this stuff. Coffee. See all those coffee places? And these aren't even all the coffee places. I know for a fact there's way more coffee places than this. But, again, you go search this area. All these coffee places. If I go in here, search this area. More coffee places. Like, the more you zoom in, the more coffee there is. We're addicted to it out here. We can't help ourselves. There's coffee all over the place. And, you know, think of how much money that means we spend. Our economy relies on caffeinated people. If we don't have our caffeine, we're freaking angry and cranky. And we're already pretty cranky up here in the Northwest because we have no sun. So, you know, it matters. Anyhow, I love my espresso every now and then. Try the espresso, freaking amazing too. I have never tried that, and I've heard good things about it. Back when I was in college, I guess a long time ago now, I was working at a Macy's for like $10 an hour, and I was in the home section a lot, and people would ask me about it, and I'd say it was great. I never tried it, but I said it was great. And I heard it was pretty, people always seem to love it though. Fredo cappuccino soon in Greece. Ooh, that sounds really good right there. Any tips to help me talk more? I have a YouTube channel, but I haven't made a video in a while. Just go for it. I mean, for me, I made a whole bunch of mistakes when I was first learning how to do it. If you don't like it, you can eventually take the video down. But for me, it's just make videos, make content, talk. You know, if you have an editing service or something like that, you can do that. Like, I use DaVinci Resolve, so I can cut out anything I don't like. If I don't like the way my voice sounds, I can tweak it in the editing with the audio system. Yeah, you can do a whole bunch of good stuff with it. But you know, just make content, just wing it. Makes whatever you want to, talk about whatever you want to. Just make sure it's something you like. Like, I could never talk about, I don't know, there's something I couldn't talk about. My mind just can't think of it right now. But, you know, just talk about what you want to talk about and be happy about it. Or be happy about what you're talking about. And then just answer questions, be a nice guy. And don't try to go all out until you really know what you want to do. Like, there are tons of other content creators out there. Like, I know a lot of them out there these days, but you really have to decide what your niche is going to be and then make the best content you can within the time frame you have available. Some people, in school, whatnot, they don't have time. For me, I would say start off by just making content and then doing research on the types of people that you want to be like, or the types of channels you want to be like, and then start to mimic their content. Don't try to put your own twist on it just yet. Just try to copy it as close as you can, and then eventually, when you start making some money and some success off of it, then you could add your own twist onto it and do more research and do more testing and mad scientist stuff to see what exactly is going to work. When you go to Panama, Juan Valdez coffee, it's crazy. I was wired. Ooh, that sounds pretty good then. I would like to be wired by coffee. 6 bills for spandex and coffee is insane. Freshly ground and freshly roasted. Oh yeah, it's great. Having a perfect coffee grinder, it goes so far, guys. I mean, even just a normal coffee grinder. I have one that's also like $90 every now and then that I use. If I don't want to pull out the nice one, because the nice one, you got to clean it out and do stuff like that. What do you call it? Just having that in a nice pot of coffee instead of having the pre-ground stuff, it goes mild. Great cup of coffee. Used to go to one at the end of Portland Avenue. Yeah, what do you call it? Seattle, that's more Tacoma, but yeah, all filled with coffee, all filled with coffee. Miss Bigfoot Java, they're pretty good. They have an army of staff in them nowadays, though. You know that? Bigfoot Java has like 5 or 6 people working in one coffee hut, like not a store, guys, a hut, like a coffee hut, but they're pretty darn large huts. They got people doing all types of shit. And hey, Lux guy, please tell me we're going to the moon. Right now, Bitcoin in the short-term time frames, it is bullish. We're basically just waiting for it to break out above this level. And right here is also a 20 moving average in the 4-hour chart. This is the big move we are waiting for. At this point in time, that number is at, talking about the number of this because it doesn't extend all the way down for each time frame or each candle. That number is 59,741. That's basically $300 above where we are, $320 above where we are right now. So as this continues to creep down here, like maybe I can actually even put on a little, let's get the magnet tool out here. 59,741. $59,741. basically right there. Okay. So that's the level of resistance we're really trying to break out above. Every candle that goes on this will change a little bit, that's for sure, but it's going to be hard to see. So right now I have a long open. I bought it when we were a little bit closer to the 20-week moving average here, but I have a small position left into it. I would still say it's okay to be buying right now for your day trades and swing trades, but you're basically just going to have a stop loss down here or a stop loss down here, or if you really want to go crazy, a stop loss way down here. But you know, it's kind of overall Bitcoin still bearish, but we're having a short-term opportunity for a day trade. That's the way I'm looking at it right now. And we're going to have to see if we can actually make that breakout or not. Right now, it's a little bit more of a battle. And so, you know, I'm basically just waiting and watching. But again, I have the luxury of buying this earlier. So, you know, it's a little bit different feeling that I'm going to have. Because if you bought right now and it goes down a little bit, you might feel kind of crazy about it or mad. You know, just make sure you understand, you know, what's going to happen. And hey, media, you know what's crazy, Mike? In Canada here, I bought a ground latte like the other day, and it was over $8, and the venti was $11. Insane prices. I was like, I'm not paying that again. It's just not worth it. No, it's not worth it absolutely at all. Are you kidding me? It's that's brutal. Imagine if you added on a breakfast sandwich on top of it or something like that. That is absolutely insane. And hey, Lux Guy, thank you very, very much for gifting 5 memberships, guys, to Miko's Media, Lux Guy. Or gifted they got Ave, Crypto Trees, and Cam. Hope you guys are all enjoying that. Make sure to give your thanks to Lux Guy. I appreciate that a lot, my man. What's the average CPM for a crypto channel? It all depends on what exactly we do and how we talk about stuff and the length of the video. So for my content, that's like the day content that I make, that's kind of like shorter term, it could be anywhere from like $15 to $20 for CPM. If it's something, or there's Bitcoin trying to make a move right here, basically, and if it's something like a longer video or like a longer tutorial, that can go up like over $100. So it can get pretty crazy up there. It can get pretty high, but it basically depends on how long the video is for a lot of people and how often they're watching it, and then where your audience is from. A lot of you guys are from like America, Europe, and whatnot, so the RPM seem to be a little better. And look at that day trade that's working out okay for us right now. That's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Now, we did break out above that 20 moving average in that 4-hour chart, so we got Bitcoin making a little bit of a rally here. Now, do you really want to day trade after that? I don't know. So we'll see what happens after the next few minutes or so. I guess, yeah, technically you're still okay with buying it, but it would have been nicer to buy pre-breakout, right? And hey, Adam, happy to see my man. Hey, Horizon opinion. What about Horizon? And there we go. All right. So now we got that nice move coming up. Boom, boom, boom. It's still going pretty well here, guys. And you got stuff like Pepe still booming up here, up 6%. Ape token still making a move. Floki still making moves. So again, I like what I'm seeing here. Plus the dollar cost averaging we did on the portfolio also is doing a little bit better here. Oh, let's go back over here to open. There you go. Yeah, we got a little bit more green showing up here. Not a lot, but we got a little bit more, and that little bit more green is that's gonna make me proud here. What about API 3? How's that one looking? Yeah, might as well add another 25 bucks into this one. There we are. Okay. The Bitcoin's making a move. Let's see how long it'll take for us to actually hold this right now. And there's the 15-minute chart. You guys can see it a little bit easier. Breaking above that 20. Here's the 4-hour chart right there. Breaking above here. I know we've been talking about this breakout for a while, but the fact that it's breaking out now, it's rare that we actually have the breakouts on stream, which is great. That means, you know, I can say, hey, so we're like bullish. Let's wait for the bullish move, and the bullish move happens. Like, yes, it works out, right? All right, that's what we're looking at right now. Looking really good. Let's see how much higher we can go. We've just started a breakout here. Could still be kind of bumpy, but I want to see how far this thing goes. At least for today's candle and maybe tomorrow's candle, really going into the weekend here. Draw another line higher. Well, I don't know. What's that next level of resistance? We already broke above that one right there a few times. It really comes up here to like 60,342 abouts. Right around there. If you're looking for a potential play. The way I might go about it, though, is potentially, I guess you could try to see some Fibonacci levels and just kind of see what potential levels are. $61,466 level. Again, one of those actually matches up with the other level of resistance around 60,300. All right. So we got some good news here. Let's see how far this wants to take us. And we're still going higher at this point. We're almost back up to $60,000. Let me actually, for now, let me actually just put a level right there just so you guys can see it. There you go. 60K. If we can get back above that, I'd be very, very happy. And then Nicholas, yeah, I mean, we were just talking about how there's a lot of shorts that were kind of hovering over here. They're not going to be maybe losing a bunch of money, but the fact that they're closing their positions is always a good sign for us. Zen chart, don't know. There you go. And hey, I'm happy to see my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. We got Bitcoin making a small breakout right now, trying to make a push up towards 60K, and if we're lucky up here towards $61,000. And you know, we'll see what happens later on today, but we got some good news. The big gist of this is the dollar index. Since we've been talking about this for a while, it's coming down. It came down hard yesterday, bounced back all around with Jerome Powell's speech and whatnot. But the Japanese, it looks like they're artificially pumping up the yen finally, and them artificially pumping up the yen is having some really big moves for the dollar index, making it go down, making Bitcoin go up, and that's all we care about right now. I just want to see Bitcoin coming up, and of course, altcoins are also having some really good moves here, which is something we really needed. I lived up there a few years in Bremerton. I know their baristas were wearing just about nothing in those drive-up little shed-looking buildings with $20, hot $20. Oh yeah. There's a place, I forget what they're called. A couple of my friends visited from Philadelphia one time, and they wanted to go there, so we went to one of them. And it's the only time I've ever went, but it was definitely an experience. I forget what they're called. I think the one I went to, it's by a military base. The military base people love going there. It's Ladybug Espresso. Hold on a second here. I want to find one while waiting for Bitcoin to continue moving up here, because Bitcoin's looking pretty good. All right. I know it's over here somewhere. I haven't been over here in a hot minute, but I know it's over here. Maybe by the trailer park, perhaps? Oh, it is by the trailer park. Yeah. Ladybug Espresso. See? Go right here. Yeah, Ladybug Bikini Espresso. And, oh, they don't tell you the prices. They got scones, dessert bars, all types of stuff. Yeah. They're all over the place, man. They're all over the place. I like going over here because across the street, there's some Mexican food places over here, which is really, really good. I don't mess with the Vietnam food all too much. It's like it messes with my stomach. But the Mexican food, I'm about that. I'm from Bremerton. We're so glad to leave the area. Ours. Where do you go? I haven't been to Bremerton in so long. You know, when they put up the bridges and whatnot, put up the tolls, I just stopped going over there completely. The only time I would ever go across the bridge is if I had to take my sister to some friend's birthday party or something like that. Because a lot of my sister's friends, and even my friends when I was in high school, they lived over on a place called Fox Island, which is like, it's a really nice island, but you gotta pay the freaking toll to get over there. The break everyone's been waiting for? Oh, basically, yeah. This is exactly what we've been hoping for, because now, I mean, we're looking at the 5-minute chart, so everything looks so bad if the candle comes down even a little bit. But basically, we're making that move right now to start chugging back over. And again, I don't think this is necessarily some larger move that takes us all the way up here, but at least getting back up here, perhaps, before making a move. I see a maximum move right up here towards 64,000. Realistically, I think we might come back up here to 61 to 62, somewhere around here. So we might tail off just a little bit before that. But it's still a good day trade, and the day trade was the part I'm emphasizing right now. The day trade is where I see the most money to be made. Well, actually, what if we make a large move there today? You know, we'll have to wait and see. Let's get rid of that little dot I just put on there. Let's go over here and add that back over here, and there we are. because we had to struggle with a lot of volatility this week. I mean, just I guess I should even include that. A lot of nastiness. And the fact that we're able to actually find some support, bounce back over, there are still plenty of buyers at this point wanting to see Bitcoin going back up. And that's basically what you want. If you guys are more concerned about what may be happening with Bitcoin at this point, I would say just have this trend line on your chart. Maybe it'll, if we break down below that, that's where you might be like, oh man, things are really bad again. Oh no. That's the trend line I'd be looking for. Right now, though, we're not even really close to that trend line. There we go. Oh, wait, what's the point? Okay, all the way over here. Let's drag this down. Something like that, right? For now, let's just have it right there. And all of a sudden, that green, or that red turned back to green, which is always a nice thing. It should still be a battle here. Because now we have to actually try to hold above this level here. There we go. Nice moves. Altcoins are having a good time of it. That's what I really want to see here. Well, lucky I wasn't shorting. Oh well, I want 58,400. Where'd it go? I mean, I would say just give it some time here. Eventually, unless we have some really big news on the positive side for Bitcoin, it's going to most likely come down here over the next week or so. Sometimes you may get a good show at the coffee stand. What do you call it? Washington has so many coffee stands. It's insane how many we really have. It's almost too many if you ask me, but we're used to. I mean, we just love our coffee so much. You go to other places, it's weird if you go to a town outside of Washington State and it's a struggle to find a coffee place. It makes no sense to us because we're used to having coffee like at max a 5-minute drive to get coffee anywhere. Anybody's house, max 5-minute drive to get coffee. And again, like I showed you before, it doesn't look like you may have many on the map because all kind of scattered. The more you zoom in, the more new coffee shops you see, the more new coffee. It's endless amounts of coffee. Ooh, a little bit more carbonation from me right there. There we go. So I want to see if there's been any more news here, not on this, but on X. Not Twitter. There you go. Let's go over here to Bitcoin. Oh, $2,300 in the last 24 hours. That's a good move if I ever saw one. Billionaire entrepreneur and Bitcoin holder Michael Saylor claims every other crypto asset besides Bitcoin is an unregistered security and not a single one will get approved as a spot ETF or be accepted by Wall Street. There is no second best. No, they already got one in Hong Kong. If they can get one in Hong Kong, I'm pretty sure other places are going to be able to get one here. So I think he's wrong on that one. But, it's going to be a very limited club to say the least. But I do think there are going to be other ETFs besides Bitcoin. I do. Michael Saylor says you're going to see a parade of famous investors, funds, and public companies and more announce they're buying Bitcoin. It takes 2 to 10 companies to act and you kick off a roaring bull run. In part that's true. In part that's true. I really just want to see us. Yeah, we can actually listen to this. I really just want to see us have an opportunity to buy a lot more up before things get kind of crazy. Let me put on my headphones. Let me take off my pretzel rock music very fast. Let me put this up here. Let me turn up the audio even more. It's up to like 90 or something. I want to hear this, so let's go right here. And there we go. Let's just listen to part of this very fast.
Asset class, right? We have the new accounting standards in place, and we're starting to see what Square is doing. They're putting their money where their mouth is, but the timing is actually quite.
Ooh, Nashville hot chicken shop. Ooh, that'd be
this
good.
Quarter because there are 2 fundamental shifts. 10% is a good start, Michael. It's Rahani, not you. When do we start seeing more? When do we start seeing?
All right, so very fast. I haven't had blue bottle coffee, but I've had blue beard coffee.
In the companies start to adopt.
I think you get a parade of endorsements. You're going to start getting 13F filings here in May, and you're going to see, a parade of famous investors and famous funds that started biting off a bit of Bitcoin, and that's going to change things. I think you're going to see more and more securities issuances, more ETFs. Then you're going to see more derivatives. You're going to see more public companies. I think you're going to see more Bitcoin miners. They're going to be announcing that they're not just mining Bitcoin, they're buying Bitcoin. I think you're going to see more good news coming from the clients of Square, right? And small, mid-sized businesses. You're going to see more of them. I think you're going to see more of the exchanges announcing that they're taking some systemic view. I think it'll be just bit by bit, every quarter, one more normalizing, program that builds Bitcoin into the capital structure of a private, a public company, a fund. You're going to see, I think over the next 4 quarters, you'll see announcements from the big banks that they've approved Bitcoin ETFs for unsolicited sale. And it'll be one a quarter, and then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. And then you'll see announcements that it's marginable. And then you'll see, like you saw last week, a dozen funds at Morgan Stanley approved Bitcoin to be incorporated in the fund, and then a bunch at 2 at BlackRock. And I think you'll just start to see more and more of these things.
Quick little check to see what Bitcoin's doing. Still going sideways here after that breakout. All right, back over to Bitcoin and Michael. Oop. Turned off the volume, and there you go.
And that will drive the news cycle. And then I think you'll see some of these small, mid-size, these zombie companies. We've had CEOs of some of these companies reach out to us. I've had them reach out to me, and it's like when you're stuck and mired and your options are worthless and you're worried about losing your employees and you want to put some life back into the company, you need to do a deal. I mean, at that point, it's very simple. You're either going to sell yourself, and the deal you're going to do is sell out to a bigger entity that can get value out of your product, or you got to buy something or buy somebody, or it's either a merger of equals, or you're going to buy a small high growth thing, or you're going to sell out. And up until 2024, I don't think Bitcoin was an institutional option. The banks were afraid of it. Public companies were afraid of it. They didn't know which side the SEC would come down on it. I think by the end of 2024, I think the institutional world, the public company world, will say, well, Bitcoin's not going away. Bitcoin's the only crypto asset. It's the best. There is no second best. We're not going to get shot to have it on our balance sheet. And at that point, people switch from fear, or fear of doing something to fear of not doing something, or maybe from fear to greed index, and they click it up a bit by bit. 2025 to 2028, those are kind of the years of early adoption.
He just said those were the years of early adoption. So, we're all in at a good time then, everybody. We're all in at a good time.
Good for us. It doesn't take much at this stage. It takes 2, 3, 5, 10 companies to act, and you kick off a roaring bull run. It doesn't take much to move Bitcoin from 60,000 to 150 or 200,000. When we get to 200,000, we're going to need, 10x more capital to move it to the next level, but they'll be on stage with us then.
Yeah, he made some good points in there, right? Oh, he's doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't like shit coins at all, but if I close my eyes, this speech sounds like it's coming from the U.S. government. Oh, what do you call? Yeah, we talked about this, how he's talking about only Bitcoin is the way. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, guys. There are tons of Bitcoin maxis out there. I get it. I get where they're coming from. But again, I think even Larry was just talking about it. Fidelity is doing an Ethereum one. Yeah. They're trying to go for it because there's money to be made, and not if the government already says one thing, it's going to be hard for them to backtrack like the SEC is trying to do right now. And anything else here? Holy shit! Jack Dorsey's company Block is following the MSTR playbook and announcing that they are going to be buying Bitcoin every month. Game theory at the corporate level. Oh man. 11 billion worth of Bitcoin shorts to be liquidated at $70,000. Holy shit. Okay. We're a little bit far from $70,000 here, guys, but I think we're on the right path. I think we're on the right path for that. Give us some time here. Real estate, no. Me stacking more Bitcoin at uncertain times, yes, that's pretty much how I feel. Up or down moment of truth. Oh, that's probably just what his thing was. Money supply has flipped positive. Oh, shit, that's been a minute there, hasn't it? Anything else? There's no oh, yeah, he did a whole speech. We're not going to watch that for a whole hour, but it's pretty interesting to hear about it. Hong Kong. That's a little late, 5 hours ago. It's been around for a couple days now. Check the rider. Anything else happening? I don't see much happening right now. Block has become dollar cost averaging. Health is wealth. The crypto net worth, no. Okay, so not much news here, basically. Image for machines. Okay, we'll come back to this and see if we have any new news later on, though. Right now, Bitcoin just consolidating after a small breakout. What do you think about AI crypto? Do I own any? Oh, yeah, I own a shit ton of AI crypto. I mean, you name it, I got it. Like, so basically, you can go over here to Crypto Slate. And let me actually adjust the audio so I can hear how loud I'm talking. How's that working? How's that working? How's that working? Now, if I yell, it's too loud. Now I'm talking. Yeah, now that's perfect. Okay. Now, nope, that's actually still too loud. There we go. Okay, perfect. You go over here to Crypto Slate. They have some AI tokens. I have a majority of these tokens right now, or as many as I can buy. So, Internet Computer, Tau, I own GRT, own Theta, I own a lot of Fetch, I own a lot of Ajax, a lot. World token is probably my number one token right now at this point. I own a lot of Ocean. I have stopped dollar cost averaging into Fetch, Ajax, and Ocean because they are going to combine here eventually, and all of that will be one large token, which would be a lot. Arkham here I own a little bit, not a lot. PALL I do not own any of this, but maybe I should. I'm looking still into this one. And OXO, I don't own any of these two or AGI. I own a lot of RLC, not as nearly as much as these ones, but I own a good amount. RLC has a market cap of $182 million, though, so pretty cheap. NMR, I own a lot of this one, just like RLC. CQT, don't own much of this one. AI, don't own much of this one. Fallout Network, I own a lot of this one, more than RLC and Numair. This one is at a $128 million market cap. I'm buying this for a hot minute here. And then going down, I'm trying to find some VAI. It's been kind of hard here, but I'm trying to find out where I can actually buy that at. I was over here on coinmarketcap.com. I think it was like a month ago. Was the last time I actually tried to find it. Is that the same logo right here? Yeah, Viout, whatever it's called. Yeah, market cap at 57 million, market cap 57 million, yeah, perfect cap. But when you go over here to markets and whatnot, I don't have access to KuCoin, Gate.io, Mexi, BitGate, BingX. I don't have access to any of these things yet, and I don't swap for tokens, so I'm basically just waiting for it to hit up on one of the exchanges that I like, and I'll see where it goes. The other one that I own off of this list right now, as far as AI tokens, is Turbo. So this was a AI token. This was a token made by AI. It has a $33 million market cap, $34 million market cap. I don't have a lot of it, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, I own $372 worth of it with a 3x leverage, and it's down 77% right now, so it's not doing well. You can see this is a weekly chart. Basically, it's been coming down week by week, just like all of the assets. But bought some this week, or that week, and then I bought some this week here. So I'm waiting to see what happens with it. But again, it's a very low market cap token, so if it just goes up a little bit, it doesn't take a lot of money to start this thing pumping, so to speak. So I'm basically waiting. A lot of these tokens that I have over here are all, I know that my head's blocking them, they're all low market cap ones. Even over here, I have a World token. I got World token over here with 3x leverage, NMR with 3x leverage right there. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Book of Meme I have over here, Joe, Miro, a lot of those lower market cap tokens. I own a lot of them, even stuff like Pixel. Pixel over here. I only bought it once, but I bought it at the wrong time during this week, obviously. But yeah, so, BNX here, I've been buying this a little bit more up and it's been going up. This is probably like one of the few things that are actually going well for me on this particular high risk portfolio. But yeah, I might get into some of this stuff if it pops up to a certain market cap. But now we're getting into like, $1 million and less, and that's not typically where I want to be. Anything really above 50 million, I'm usually more comfortable with. Turbo is just something I saw that it's very rare for these things to be on exchanges. That's why I've been like, oh, Blofin has some of these really low market cap tokens. I'm going to take advantage of that and see what I can do with it. And we'll see, just see what happens with it, basically. Then you got LimeWire over here. I was thinking about that one. Grok over here. This one's been kind of popular lately. And, just some of these ones over here. But basically, a lot of them are in the top 20 for the most part. Fala, Numair, RLC, Arkham, Ocean, World, Ajax, Fetch. A little bit of Theta, not a lot. GRT, a little bit, not a lot. Town, a little bit, not a lot. A lot of ICP. Because ICP can go up to hundreds here, which is going to be pretty nice. Tau, I just don't like the fact that it's $400. That's the only thing I really don't like about it. Just the price. People usually don't have a massive incentive to really be loading up on tokens that they deem as being too expensive. Basically, we're going to see everything we've been saying for years. Well, yeah, but, the difference is when it actually happens, we will have had ample opportunity and ample time to just buy a little bit. And again, you guys don't have to go crazy with how much money you put into Bitcoin and altcoins and stuff like that. But just putting a little bit in every week, like I have a link down below for crypto.com. If you guys sign up for that and just put a little bit of Bitcoin every week and then just kind of hold it, but don't ever sell it. Just let the market kind of do what it wants to do. I'd be confident with that. That's one of the things I've been looking to do here more often. Because normally I have the cold storage wallets that are not even anywhere near online. But if I was just looking for a wallet out there, or not a wallet, just an exchange out there that I just trust, Coinbase kind of goes down a little bit too much for me. Crypto.com, just put some money there, relax, just leave it alone. It's like you get the ads for maybe Acorns or something like that. It's that type of stuff. I know there's another app out there called Stash and Acorns. Instead of, doing that type of stuff, I just buy the Bitcoin off of crypto.com. At least then you can probably get some cool little freebies with all their cool little systems. And I don't know, they have freebies and stuff if you have a certain amount of their Crow token, Bitcoin, stuff like that. Might as well. You can stake it there if you guys really want to go down that path too. I've heard the companies Fetch AI, Ocean AI, and Ajax are forming one company called Asset. Yes, they are. I think they already voted on it last month too. Spin gospel. I'm embarrassed at the amount of Bitcoin I fumbled over the last 4 years. Not again. Yeah, I mean, again, the best that you guys can do is just dollar cost average and have a longer term portfolio. But typically, the way I would go about it, this is the way I go about it personally. I have my long term portfolio. I will sell. I will just keep on adding stuff to it over time. Then I have my cycle portfolio, my day trading portfolios. When I make profits after the, I think where Bitcoin's peaked or something like that, I tend to, have a lot of profit left over, a lot of just basically USTD, a lot of cash. I will put a large portion of that into Bitcoin for long-term holding, Ethereum, and then other things. Basically, once we start to break back down below that 150 week moving average. And that way I know my money is going further and further and further. It doesn't have to be at the very bottom of the market, like I said before. This past cycle, I started to buy Bitcoin when it came back down towards $26,000. And then I was still dollar cost averaging when it went to 16,000, 15 and a half, whatever it was. Even when it was coming back up towards $30,000, I was still dollar cost averaging. I pretty much stopped, I think it was last September, October is when I pretty much stopped a dollar cost averaging for my long-term portfolio. And I'll wait to do it again until the next time Bitcoin has a larger crash event here. And I'll see where it goes from there. Do you think a little bit more long-term, next more months chop or go sideways? Right now, Bitcoin overall is still pretty bearish. The best I see is choppiness. The worst I see is just going down to low 50s at this point, unless we have some really bad inflation, which I don't think is going to be terrible. I don't think we're going to have terrible inflation. If you want to see Bitcoin have a mood shift and everything starts to get really good, everybody's really excited about it, we're going to have to see inflation start to go back down below 3% plus a rate cut or two. I think we still have an opportunity to have a rate cut sometime this summer. Maybe it's not going to happen. It's May. It's not going to happen in May. Maybe it'll happen in June. And maybe July. And I think once we know for sure that's going to be happening, I think that's where people start to get a little more excited with Bitcoin. Now, again, it's not going to be easy because there's so many variables out there, but I do think it's a good opportunity to buy up a lot of these assets when they're going sideways like they are right now. At this point in time, we're just kind of going down and sideways. It's been kind of very bumpy at times, but it's generally just down and sideways. Eventually, we're going to have a larger breakout, and that breakout will be great, but it's going to just look something. Be a daily chart better. And you guys could basically just extend that outward, basically. We're going to break out of this massive flag. Now, who knows how big this flag is going to be at the end of the day. It may end up being something like this, for all we know. That we could have just reached the potential bottom. We don't know. But whenever we break out of this flag, whether it's May, June, whatever, that's going to be the seismic move that everybody's been waiting for. And, there's going to be a lot of factors as part of that, ETFs and whatnot. But for now, we're kind of in we're in a slugfest. And we've been here before in this market, right? Slugfest over here, this is shorter than what this is going to end up being. This over here was a massive slugfest of just going sideways. We basically did nothing for 217 days. It's like over half a year. Yeah, over half a year. At this point, we've been going through a little bit more of a slugfest, I guess. You might say from here to here. If this only been 54 days, it might take 100 days before we really start to make a good move. At this point, though, what we're looking for is what happens with CPI and PPI, and that happens right here on May 15th. CPI, one day after, is going to be PPI. We could really get a big boost that takes us back up here. And that would fit in with us not breaking down below that 200 moving average, which is definitely coming over here. I think Bitcoin will try to make a move well before that happens. I hope it does. Because typically, once we get into this bullish move, we're not even anywhere close to that sucker. And we've tapped on it, I guess, a couple of times over here, but that's 2016. Now, usually we're not close to it. So, again, this cycle is different because of interest rates and all the other crap going on with the world, but I'm hoping we don't have to run into that type of issue where everything is a little bit more hectic. Maybe we tap on it or something like that, but, I want to see us go higher. Let's go back over here. There we are. And then, Michael, I got a link for Blowfin. I would try it out. They have a lot of volatile tokens on there, but because they're volatile, I would just say, hey, small amounts of leverage are needed. I mean, you can go high leverage if you want to on there, but I think low is good. But I just don't know if it's available in Canada. That's the only thing. It's available in the United States, which is pretty nice. But every country has their own freaking regulations. Heck, even in America, every state has their own regulations. I live in Washington State, and I don't get all the exchanges that all of you guys get if you live in maybe Idaho or somewhere outside of Washington. And hey, Cam, so you BitNix? Yeah, BitNix is something right there. I used to partner with them every now and again. On your golden, because you did hear about that former comment. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's why I'm not buying anymore though. Eventually, they're going to combine. I'm just going to wait it out. What's the likelihood of ICP hitting all-time highs this year? I'd probably say like 60 to 70%. It might blow my expectations out of the water. I just don't know. I'm not, I'm not that good at that type of estimations. But ICP still a solid business. I think they're going to have a lot of stuff to be showing off this year. And on top of that, their price action has been fairly good so far. I would say that's more likely to get back up towards $300 level. And again, ICP is still cheap enough where $300 goes a long way. I just don't know how many people that originally had tokens, how many of them sold off when it first got launched or, on the exchanges and whatnot. Hey, Michael, I'm not liking my experience with Coinbase. You'll be surprised how many people say the same exact thing. When's the next Fed meeting? I think it's like next month. We already had the last one, like yesterday or the day before yesterday? It was yesterday. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was yesterday. My brain's off right now. It'll be in a month. How do we get rate cuts in June or July? We always get crackhead gas prices in the summer, causing everything to go up as well. At this point, there has to be a little bit of fear of an economic slowdown, and we got a little bit of that when it came to the GDP numbers coming down. And then on top of that, Israel and Hamas may have a ceasefire. I have no idea what's going to happen there. That would also be a big move down for oil. At this point in time, we got to look at the weekly chart for oil just because everything is so volatile. You can see how oil is coming down here pretty substantially, I would say. And that could also be a good help here. That could mean inflation, not necessarily this month's numbers, but next month's numbers. That could actually be a really good thing there for everybody. But really, it's going to have to be coming. Inflation is going to be. Inflation is going to have to be coming down before they really start to pull that plug, or the economy is going to have to be slowing at a much faster pace. That's what's really going to have to happen here. Now, also from a technical perspective, you can see that trend line right there. We're pretty close to breaking down below that. You guys know I told you guys I want to start to sell off some of my oil stocks, and I've sold off around like 50% of them over the past week. Well, actually, over the past like 3 days. And I'm still holding a lot of them because they do dividends and whatnot, and I really want to see what happens. But you can see oil over the past week has definitely come down, right? Last, 1, 2, 3, 4, like last month has been down. You go over to ZOM, coming down as well off this higher part of this little trend line here after hitting all-time highs. PXD still holding it pretty strong. This is my favorite oil stock ever. OXY coming down. And good. I've been buying this stuff like dollar cost averaging for years. So, because I love my dividend plays. But I started to load up a little bit more over here when things were looking a little bit worse, which was nice. So I'm pretty much shutting off a lot of that stuff here. Where's the other one? CVX. Chevron. Getting rejected off the trend line. That's not a proper trend line. Oh, that must have been off the monthly chart then. But basically, you're seeing a little bit of resistance over here, also breaking down. Devon Energy right now also having some issues. I don't own Devon Energy, actually. I think I've told you guys that a few times, but it's just never, their business model isn't what I like, unfortunately. But I know a lot of people do, so you can see that also coming down here. Anything else? I don't think so. No. Else. But yeah, so there's some moves there. On top of that, go to the euro, to the USD. Let me get rid of this 20 here. It's just annoying the crap out of me. Euro against the dollar. There's an opportunity for this to break out pretty soon. That means the dollar needs to be going down. That'd be really good for Bitcoin. That'd be really, really cool for all of us. That's kind of cool. Euro to the yen. This isn't something we really care about here, but you can see how the euro is coming down just like the dollar is against the yen because they're buying it up. US dollar to the yen. We want this sucker to keep on coming down because that's great for us. It's really, really great for us. All right, back over here. So there's an opening for us, basically. There's an opening. Whether or not we take it, it remains to be seen. But I think there's an opportunity here. I think there's an opportunity. Is it a large one? No, but it's enough where I'm taking some trades on it, Oh no, Crypto Treats, happy to see you, my man. Oil down, nat gas up. Larry, it's about time natural gas went up, though. My natural gas holdings have just hit stop loss after stop loss after stop loss after stop loss after stop loss. What do I see in Anna? I can't read that. Oh, God, this damn heart is in the way. Okay. Hold on a second here. If I stretch this out more, does that mean that the message stretches out more? No, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, what do I see? An ape token. Okay, I was like, a something. Okay, there we go. As far as ape token is concerned, here, from a technical perspective, let's break that down first, and then we can kind of go over to what this is. Okay, so this is the weekly chart. All right, this is one of those things where, maybe I can even pull it here. Coinbase. No, is there another one? Nope. Okay, this is fine. This is one of those tokens that came out, late 2022 over here, or early 2022, excuse me, March, and it's really been coming down ever since, because it's the timing of when it came out to the market, and it had a great move up here that was going crazy for a while, and it's just been coming down pretty much ever since, and it kind of got battered down very, very hard. This is one of my this is the main reason. It just got battered very, very hard. Okay, there's more reasons. I probably shouldn't say this is the only reason, and we've hit a little bit of support right here. And we've even made, I think, maybe new lows right here, perhaps, or coming very close to it, perhaps. But I think this is going to have a great turnaround story, because I think we're going to have a breakout sometime towards the end of this cycle. There we go. And here's the other one. Or eventually, later on this year, I think we're going to have a breakout that pushes us back above $3, and then hopefully back up here towards 6 or 8. I don't know if it's going to get all the way back up here to $30 and whatnot, stuff like that. But I think by having some leverage positions, I'll be in a good spot for that move here. The weekly chart hasn't had a golden cross ever, so I want to see if that happens. Obviously, it hasn't had one just because of that dump right there. But the daily charts, again, we didn't make new lows, but we could have very easily. I'm still hoping that we can go a little bit higher here. Now, the main reason besides technicals, which I think is a little bit the fundamental reason, which is a little bit more, I want to have some exposure into NFTs, and I really don't have any. This is my way to just try to get into that space and kind of have some money in it, if that makes sense. Because if you go over here to Ape, it's currently 101, $700 million market cap, maybe a little bit above that. The X account has a lot of people. 391,000 followers. They talk about being in the front of Web3 and about all that type of stuff here, governance, all type of stuff about the DAO, the board. Every now and again, NFTs have their rally. I want to have exposure to that, because I just don't own many NFT type of tokens. I usually shy away from it. And so this is all of my exposure really towards that market, that sector, if that makes sense. If I go over here to coinmarketcap.com, categories. Oh, I don't really use this too much. Okay, hold on. No. Why is this not in an order that I like? Oh, that's shitty. Okay, hold on a second here. Right. There's a lot of things that are kind of in that realm, but really aren't in that realm. Like you see like metaverse tokens right here and stuff like that. I don't really like most stuff I see over here. And maybe I'll have to go into some of these lower market cap plays eventually, but I just don't see much I like. And, Ape's been around for a minute, has legitimate uses, I guess you would say. So I guess long story short, it's been it's a token that's been hammered down a lot, but still has a lot of legitimacy. And on top of that, it's one of the only ways I have some decent exposure that goes into just exposure to NFTs, basically. I do hope it performs very, very well, but so far it's been kind of all over the place this cycle. Good for swing trading, very good for swing trading. I should actually point that out too, but usually when it comes to long term, I'm trying to see if this cycle I can really make some money off of it. Now, as much as I do any other type of token I buy, but can I go over here very fast and do this color candle thing? It's pretty nice, you know, it says to buy right here on the daily chart, worked out pretty well. Sell right here worked pretty well. Sell right here worked pretty well. Buy right here worked pretty well. Buy right there, it only worked for a few days, but you know, sometimes you don't win them. Sell right here worked out pretty well. Buy right here, this RSI says don't buy, so I wouldn't have bought there. Sell right here, pretty profitable. Buy right here, down, that one would have actually lost me some money. Yeah, I was running up against resistance levels here, but still, you know, you don't win all of them. Sell right here, made me some money. Bought right there, made me some money. Messed up right here, did not work out for me. Actually, Monday the 22nd. Oh, what is that? Oh, Monday the 12th. No, it's still positive right there. So what do you call? I might have actually taken that trade there. But again, any money that I lose, it's always so much less than the money I make from all those types of trades. Didn't work out very much here. Well, that one worked out. That one didn't. Oh, this was FTX though. So this was a while ago, guys. So this trade might have worked out if it wasn't for FTX. Ick. This one worked out. That one worked out. That one worked out. That one worked out over here. This one worked out over there. So it's usually a pretty good system for me as far as just following the simple change of characters. There's not like a whole lot of like, oh wow, is this thing really going to work? Am I stressing out about it? I know, but don't stress because it usually works out pretty well. Even if you go over here to the weekly chart, you can see it's mostly been bearish for most of its creation just because it kind of came around the end of the last bull market, or I guess when the bear market started last year. And so far, you can see it went back to being bearish over here. It had a few weeks of like good moves and whatnot, but I'm hoping the next time it turns bullish here, I'll be pretty happy with it. And again, once it turns bullish right here, this is more likely what I'm going to buy, but this still has to wait a little bit more time to cook if you ask me. I'm mostly just dollar cost averaging that, which again, what you were asking about. Oh, let's get rid of that colors though. I don't want to see that there. The colors for the price action concepts is so ugly compared to the smart money concepts one. I like the smart money concepts colors a lot better. Just close your eyes and don't look. How do I not get liquidated with my dollar cost average holdings? So basically the way I hold my cryptocurrency and whatnot, so let's say something is like falling down like this over time, and let's say I buy here, 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 and I'm doing 2x leverage or 3x leverage basically, right? And so obviously when that's happening, I'm going to be losing money. Like right now, I'm down like $1,200 on my dollar cost averaging that we started in early March, because, you know, pretty much that was the peak of Bitcoin. Now, as that's happening, you know, obviously I'm not happy about it, but you'll notice that, you know, I'm not being liquid at that time. That's because on the other side of this, I have cross leverage, which means if this gets below if any of these things get below like 100%, the liquidity from the other tokens is used to kind of help this out. And one of the things I also do is you're also going to see that you have an available balance inside of your portfolio. And that available balance will have, say, hey, it'll say like, hey, you have this much money, something like that. Available balance, basically. And that may be $1,000, it may be $2,000, $4,000, it may even just be $500, right? I think right now mine's like $400, something like that. As long as you have an available balance, this will go down if this number goes up. So if you lose more money, basically, you will have less money to trade, but the entire balance is being used to help keep this thing alive at this point in time. That's usually how I go about it. The way that I protect myself is usually just having stop losses and stuff like that, but if I don't have stop losses because I'm just dollar cost averaging, I just have to make sure that this number over here is good enough where I don't have to worry about anything being liquidated. And again, I only have small positions or small leverages So in order for a position to even hit negative 100%, that means I have to have a 2x leverage that went down 50x, or a 3x position that went down 33 and 1/3 x. I guess I don't want to really draw that last one. It doesn't really pop out well, but you get what I'm saying. And then, that equals 100x, negative 100x, sorry. Not T-Cox, but what do you call it? So usually it's rare for me to even get down there in the first place. I have positions like that, but again, in order for that to happen, my position has to go down 2x, and that's happened. That's happened. Some positions are down 50x. Again, all you got to do is all those drawings. There you go. Go over here to coinmarketcap.com. Last 60 days, last 30 days. Ordi is down 60%. AXL is down 40%. Arbitrum's down 48. Apes down 46. Wormhole's down 46, and so forth. So you see tons of that stuff happening. But if you just have enough of that money in your balance, it doesn't matter, because it's there to kind of give you some extra wiggle room when it comes to your positions. And again, I always have money over there. And with low leverages, it doesn't usually matter all too much. It's when you have like 20x leverage, 30x leverage, 40x leverage, that's really when your entire account can just go poof, just like that, which is why people typically don't go with the crazy high leverages and whatnot. But it takes a lot for your account to be liquidated if you have low leverages. Like over here with Fairdesk, you can see right here, my available balance is $300 since I put a bunch of money in there, basically. I just invested today. But my margin balance is $3,000. My unrealized profit is down $1,200. My position margin is $2,700. And so far, everything seems to be doing okay. If you're ever at risk of, having a bad trade or being liquidated, it'll tell you what the liquidation price is. If the mark price of the contract reaches below this price when long, or above this price when short, your position will be liquidated. You see how there's nothing there? It's because none of these, at least at this point in time, are even close to being at risk of being liquidated. Which means World Token, it would have to go down so far. Well, actually, I don't even know. Yeah, even if it went down to 0, I don't think I would, because I don't have like a shit ton of money put in here. Even if it went to 0, my overall account wouldn't be liquidated here, if that makes sense. And you can see, these aren't bustling with lots of gains. That comes, hopefully a few weeks from now. But even with all these losses and some smaller gains here, there's no liquidations. But that's responsible, I guess we would call it responsible market risk, money management, whatever you want to call it. It's making sure you're not over leveraged. Like if I just opened up a new token trade right here, like some random token, and I did a 100x trade on it with the rest of my capital at $300, then you would see every single one of these have a liquidation price on it. But because all of these are like 2x, 3x long leverages, there's no real harm there, especially because I have money over here. And then again, every week I add more money onto this. Every week I add more money. And if I'm ever worried, like in the back of my head, like, oh, what if it actually does go crash really, really hard? What happens there? I just won't buy as much that week, and I'll just keep the money in there, But basically, low leverage with money on the side to protect yourself. To make, in case something gets bad, just to have the extra money. Big Head and Shoulders starting in February, 4-hour on Pond. Let me see. I don't really know anything about Pond, but I can try to look it up for you. Not Pondo Technologies. Pond, there we go. Head and Shoulders. I'd probably just look at it on the daily chart here. So I see what you're talking about. Head and then shoulder right here. Unfortunately for this one, it already broke down below it. It's retesting it right now, which means typically it decides to break back down. If maybe I were to find this right here. and I just find an image of it. Or it could be any one of these. Just trying to figure out which one would probably look nicer on the screen. Open image, new tab. Open image, new tab. There you go. Okay. Okay, I was wrong. Let me see if I can just zoom in here as much as possible. Okay, you see how it broke down from here, but it came up to retest before coming back down? You see, oh, Jesus. All right, you see how it broke down from here and then retested, then came back down? It's kind of following that motion at this point in time. Now, there are plenty of opportunities where we've seen this happen before and it has decided to just go sideways and come back up. That usually happens more in the stock market because, again, whenever you see stuff like that, it's because Bitcoin's also in a more bearish activity, which I guess you can see right now. Let me see if I go over here towards, I don't know, maybe banks or something have a better example of this. Maybe a 4-hour chart with the bank. Let me see. Oh, no, let me just go ahead. I want to see the after-hours stuff. It was almost one. This was almost a shoulder, a head and a shoulder, and kind of see how it came back up before going back down. It's a double top, double top. That's just the ugliest shoulder, head, and shoulder I've ever seen, so let's not talk about that. I need to find something that goes sideways more often. What's sideways? IBM, I guess. Oh, Intel. Intel's the mother of sideways action. Look at that. Yeah, it's the mother of sideways action. All right. This might be too sideways. Holy shit. No. Okay. Well, there are times when it happens. It doesn't happen all too often because usually I have to find a little bit more support. But, you know, when it comes to something like a pond here, which you're just talking about, and you're seeing that overall bearish move happening, death crosses and whatnot, might have a lower moving average as well. Let's go weekly chart. It may find some support off of some fib levels here. You've got to bring some math into it. And you can see the bottom, yeah, it held right there for a little bit. Maybe it held a little bit there on the daily chart, not sure. That next level of support is 0.014, which is definitely a far away from where we are right now. Held there for all of maybe a day or something. Let's go over here and take this off of the fib levels. Tip, tap, toe. Maybe it comes back as far as 0.013. But honestly, the way this is going, it might actually find a little bit of a floor here and maybe have an opportunity to move back up. It won't dip probably down here unless this is a lower market cap token. Yeah, it's following some basic technical. There's nothing too crazy at this point. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's still desperately trying to break out and go higher here. It's trying. We just broke out, so let's see how much higher it wants to go. There we are. Market conditions right now, do you think dollar cost averaging the alts is a real alt season, a good strategy? Or would you wait for a market drop up more? So the way I look at investing and trading usually is that I don't know exactly what's going to happen in the world or the markets day by day. I kind of just understand the trends of which we're going. And then once everything kind of aligns in my direction, I typically will buy up a lot. At this point in time, because Bitcoin's already gone up a lot, altcoins are at really good discounts compared to where they were just like a month ago, 2 months ago. I dollar cost average a little bit every week. That's pretty much a hedge right now. So if something crazy happens and Bitcoin in a week is up at $70,000 again, I don't want to be ticked off at myself for not having any exposure to the market. Something that I've seen a lot on this channel is I will dollar cost average in times right now, or even yesterday, the day before, whatever, where the market just looks like complete dog shit. And I'm happy to buy there because, you know, I understand I'm holding for a very long period of time afterwards. And eventually when Bitcoin hits $100,000, I won't care if I had to buy at $59,000 or $58,000 or $65,000. $100,000 Bitcoin, I'll be very happy regardless, you know? let's say Bitcoin went up to $65,000 tomorrow, not even all-time high, just 65,000, you would see a lot of people say, should I buy right now? I didn't buy when the dip happened. The way to kind of mitigate that is just to have a little sliver of yourself into the market. And that's typically what I like to do. So I would say it's all kind of your personal preference, but I dollar cost average, so I always have some exposure. So I'm not trying to run around after the market's popped out of nowhere, maybe while I've been sleeping or something, and I'm not trying to play catch up. That's the best way that I've come to do it. If you feel like you don't want to invest so much money right now, you could just put $20 a week into the market this week, $20 next week. The money is, whatever you perceive as small. And then if it drops down to like $55,000 Bitcoin, $52,000 Bitcoin, then you may up it to $50 a week or $100 a week, and that would make you feel more comfortable because you feel like you're getting a better deal with it. The way I'm looking at it right now is you go over here to, any of these tokens, and it was a lot different here a few days ago before a lot of these tokens started to have their moves up. Jesus, sorry, burping out of burping here. The heck, I'm double clicking. There we go. So for example, right now, let's go to weekly charts. I know there's going to be random lines, just ignore it. From the all-time highs here of Bitcoin's at a 20% discount right now. It's not the best, but it's a good discount. Ethereum right now is a discount of 26%. Solana is at a discount right now of about 33%. DogeCoin's at a massive discount right now at about 41%. Something like a Bonk. This was at a discount of 74%. And now it's only at a discount at about 45%. You go down the list, let's go over here to AI tokens, which are usually a little bit better. We're looking at a discount right now with Fetch AI at about 44%. PHA over here, discount of about 52%. And those discounts are good enough for me from a historical viewpoint. I'm happy to start dollar cost averaging here. In fact, I started dollar cost averaging some of these tokens back over here. Now, PHA is a different type of story, basically, but maybe I can go to something that's not like that, like Mana. There you go. These are some important dates. This is a weekly chart, so I started dollar cost averaging right around here. I bought some over here, 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 some over here. And my average right now is somewhere over here. Some averages, they're way up high because maybe I didn't buy some over here, maybe I didn't buy some over here. I spent that on some other token. You never know. You probably seen that if you watch me go through my dollar cost averaging things. Like right now, some that's down a lot, like right here, hot. I may have only wanted to buy a little bit of that. So right now the average is way, 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 way up here. Way, way, way higher. And maybe I don't want to actually put more money into it right now. Maybe I just don't care enough about it. The market cap for hot is $413 million. I'm okay with that right now. I don't need to put more money in there. But, eventually, let's say with Mana or something like that, my average is for now somewhere over here, Eventually, when it goes higher, I will have had enough money kind of built in here. So when it starts going back up to me zooming out here, maybe back up to that next leg, all the way up here towards $1.14 or up here towards $2, I will have an average over here, and I'll be very happy to sell off some right here. You may say, why sell here? I want to lock in those profits. Go higher, I'd be happy to sell some up here. And again, if it gets all the way back up here, I'll be happy to sell some over here. But over here to over here, great. But I don't want to be buying over here to over here, although I may do that, but might as well get on a discount when you can, because you can see how much these things can crash historically. There's a link token. Just violent moves, very violent moves. I might as well just buy while I can. And again, you don't have to put in like $1,000 a week or anything like that. Just a few bucks a week usually does the trick for me. But it kind of depends on your strategy. There are people who do swing trading like I do, but they don't even do dollar cost averaging. They just wait for the green signal, like right here, and they buy right here, and maybe they sell right here, or they sell right here. I bought right here, and I sold right here, and right here, and right here. I totally missed this whole selling opportunity, but I didn't care because I bought down here, bought some right here, and I was able to sell there, and sell there. Each one of these leads to fat amount of profit. That profit grows your entire portfolio. Don't worry about making the maximum amount of money. Just make sure your bag of money here, if I can draw it properly, just make sure that the bag of money is going up. That's all I care about. Because the larger that bag of money is, then I can just do dollar cost averaging for long term, like, Bitcoin for 5-10 year planning, and I'll be happy. Plus, that bag of money that I have, that also pays for my bills, my rent, my insurance, my vacations, and all that other type of crap. Now, this is going to be interesting because I messed this up a lot, didn't I? Yeah, let's get rid of all the type of crap out here. But really, it just depends on how you want to trade. There are so many different ways to dollar cost average or buy or swing trade and stuff like that. I just want to make sure that I'm not left behind by a large move. That's the thing, right? Like Bitcoin broke out right here. A lot of signs are pointing towards Bitcoin trying to go a little bit higher. But you're still kind of worried because Bitcoin's had a really rough few weeks, like a month or so. And so you might not have bought right there. And now you may have an incentive to buy right here in kind of a panic or something, on a FOMO period, Well, if I was buying right here, this is kind of a mini way of looking at it. Well, guess what? I get to sell up here. I make some money. I'm very happy with myself. And maybe if I even had an average right there, it doesn't matter. I'm very happy with myself to sell right there because at least I know I'm making a profit. My portfolio got larger, yada, yada, yada. And while we're up here, again, what happens? People come in, they FOMO, and then when these people buy up here, like let's say Bitcoin pops up more, then the moment they start to come back over here, they buy over here, like, oh, should I buy? And they sell, and then they're all very sad because they lost money. Meanwhile, the person that bought like here, sold here, I'm happy. Sure, I might have missed this next big pump, but at least I made money off of it. That's what dollar cost averaging usually is for me. Now, you can add leverage onto it if you want to, but I would just, if you guys don't know what you're doing there as far as the fees and stuff like that, it may get a little bit more rocky. But again, it's, it just takes some practice at the end of the day. Good point to buy Bonk. Bonk's already kind of running away with it, but yeah, if you wanted to buy some Bonk, you could. It just depends on if you wanted to swing trade it, long-term trade it, or day trade it. It's really up to you. Like, I don't know how you like to trade. XRP is the king of sideways. Oh yeah, maybe XRP would have been actually a good opportunity to try to see if I could find a head of the shoulders play there. Because XRP, I don't know. It's just let me try maybe to try the 4-hour chart. It's kind of hard to find those. Like, yeah, see, here's one. But see how this kept coming down? Shoulder, a head, and then a shoulder. But this is a very small shoulder right there. Came back down, retested. Yeah, it's not a good example. Nope. It's too sideways to even try to have a head and shoulders play. Maybe head, shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, perhaps? Or maybe this was the shoulder. I guess say shoulder, head, shoulder, come back, came back up to retest, came back down, didn't come back down too far, then kind of built back up. Sometimes that can happen, but you can see how violent that move down was. Of course, it's going to have to come back up a little bit more. Not much in here as far as head and shoulders is concerned. Let's see this one right here. Shoulder, head, shoulder, something like that. Perhaps I never broke down below that level. That's a lot of violent moves right there. Yeah. Okay. Let's see where we at. There you go. Did it finally break out above it? There we go. Look at that beauty. 60,000 right there, trying to make a move. still having some issues breaking above 61,000 or 60,000. Let's go over to the second chart very fast. So there is a wall right here at 60,000. There might need to be a big poof, a little bit of a pump up here. So let's kind of keep track of this tick by tick here. There we are. I think we should be able to break above this wall here. You know, it might not be easy, but I think we have the volume to do it at this point in time. Those shorts do not want to be liquidated, so, you know, I can't blame them for putting up a fight, but, you know, I wouldn't be betting on the shorts to win this battle here over the next few minutes. Yeah, no worries in this. Thoughts on Filecoin? I mean, you're seeing Bitcoin breaking out, and a lot of altcoins breaking out. It seems to be an opportune time for a lot of day trading right now. Swing trading is still kind of iffy unless you're dollar cost averaging, but day trading seems to be opening up for a lot of different tokens right now. We're seeing a lot of tokens within the last few hours definitely make a pump up. Like even Pendle's up 4%. A lot of stuff's up between 1 and 2%. By the end of the day, you might see a few altcoins up there 5 to 10%. I would say probably Filecoin goes into that territory there. And exactly, yeah, there's definitely going to be some shorts for us to cover. And hey, Plutobolic, I like the name. Just watched the Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo video from a year ago. Thank you, I learned a lot. Wish I saw it 3 months ago. The YouTube algorithm is not very loving of my content. I tell you that now. It's just not very loving of my content. But I am going to be putting out more videos. Tomorrow I'm putting out a video that's called the top 10... content, there you go. Yeah, top 5 new cryptos to invest in during the dump, except for I messed up on the title. It should be top 10 cryptos. And there we go. And so that's scheduled to come out tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific time. So if you guys want to watch that, those are 10 tokens I'm loading up a lot during this dump. Some are more low risk, some are high risk, but you guys don't just do all of the ones I'm doing. Just do whatever ones you really want to do out of that list if you guys want to do any of them at all. I have a feeling that some of them are going to overlap with the ones you're doing as well. Big time is so oversold. It's going to have to make a move here eventually, like on a really like a large upswing on a week by week basis. I think it's just something I want to dollar cost average into a little bit right now, but it's a 2x leverage or no leverage type of play. That thing is way too volatile for leverage at this point in time. It's absolutely wild. See anything else special moving up right now? When I see World Token moving up a little bit today, that's kind of nice. Let's see, anything else moving up a little bit more. Pepe's up a little bit here, going sideways now, but it's up 5%. Bitcoin Cash making some moves here. So I like what I'm seeing right now, guys. It's just basically how much further can we make a move. Right now, it seems the level of resistance to beat is going to be $60,000. We're going to have to continue to move hour by hour by hour. But again, we've just started our 4-hour candle breakout here. We got another 36 minutes. Maybe we're going to slow down a little bit before that next 4 hours and then try to make a large move up here. I do think we have a pretty firm cap somewhere between $61,000 and up here towards 62,000 as that 50-day moving average or 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart. I think that's really where we're going to see some issues coming up. But for now, you know, day traders abode or day traders are going to be perfectly happy with the moves we've been seeing so far. It's been kind of more of a grind, but still, you know, it's what's going on. Filecoin had their space mission with Lockheed Martin to space, turned out really well. Oh, that's good. I like when you actually have partnerships that work out. Kronos memes running. Just drove 8 hours back home. Now time for a 420. There you go. Enjoy yourself, my man. Oh, whoa. Everything okay here? Nothing weird happened. Okay. Saw my dog was walking on some wires. I guess he shouldn't have been or something. Because my audio just went bing, 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 bing or something like that. So interesting. Oh, all right. So let's see. All right, there we go. Okay. And as far as, let me see if I can find it here in my list. As far as Link, it still seems to be making the same exact moves as Bitcoin at this point. So Lynx looks like it has a pretty hard level of resistance to break out above around 1410. So this might not be the best trade to take out there unless you're hoping that it breaks it above that, in which case it has a strong move to make up towards, I would say, 15 to 1450 or so. So it might be worth a day trade, but at this point in time, most people are probably going to try or attempt to swing it as it tries to hold on to this longer support level that's been holding on since all the way back in, November of 2023. That's really the move being made right here as far as Link's concerned. So if you wanted to buy this up, you'd probably want to have a stop loss around like $11, which is actually well below this. $11 is way down here, right in my head. That's the stop loss I'd have, and then kind of wait to see what happens next. Short term though, let's see the 4-hour chart. Breaking out just like a lot of other stuff. It has a lot of resistance ahead of it, so I'd just be cautious with it. I would definitely be if you open in the trade, I wouldn't leave it alone. I'd be kind of like managing and watching it, unless you want to just have your typical stop loss right down here around 1345. Yeah, 1345, maybe 1338 or something like that. And then just kind of wait to see what happens. We have a resistance right up here at 1421, right up here towards 1441. So it's, that's a 3% profit. That's a 4% profit 5. It's there. You probably have to use some leverage and then just have a proper stop loss there. All right, there we go. Aerodome looks like it could be a good play, built on the base. I have some of that, not a lot, but I have started to buy up a little bit more. There we are. And I guess you mentioned people judging you for selling Doge early. Oh, hold on a second here. Let's go back over to the 15-minute chart for Bitcoin just so we can see what's going on here. That battle's still being duked out over 60,000. Judging you for selling Doge early during that run-up over a year ago, how did you deal with it mentally that you could have made way more if you held the whole way? Much love, bro. Oh. For me, it was more like the mental part of not making more money. That wasn't as bad as people just being mad at me. I would say, like, me selling DogeCoin, I was so happy because I made so much freaking money after like a small like $500, $700 investment. You buy a little bit of DogeCoin. You buy a little bit of DogeCoin at 0.0024 and it makes its way up towards like 50 cents or whatnot. Holy shit! You know how lucky you are. I mean, like you understand the luck that goes along with it. It's crazy. And I sold half of my Dogecoin at 50 cents, another 10% at 60, another 10% at 70, and obviously I didn't get a chance to sell at 80. But I was just so happy it didn't matter. Because again, my whole philosophy for trading is I just want to see my portfolio go up. One of the worst things that I dealt with when I first started to invest was just watching my portfolio go down while the market as a whole went up. So I was having this horrible feeling. I was like, I could have made more money if I just put money into the market and left it freaking alone. And that's the normal, safe thing to do. But me trying to change my life and become a millionaire out of it, what happened? I was just watching all the money I had saved up go down, 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 down. So there came a certain point where it was like, well, your goal is to make money. What is an easy way for you to do this with the way your mind works? Because I have like serious ADHD. I think even maybe a twinge of autism in there or something. And so I worked out my strategy where I was just like, hey, I'm going to buy low, sell high. And then if I get really lucky with something, I will be more than happy to sell it early or, not make as much money if I just know I'm locking in some profit. And I don't even think you guys, me selling at 50 cents was extraordinary for me because technically I would have sold Dogecoin at a penny if I could have, or 5 cents. But since I saw this thing was catching fire, I was like, let's see where this thing could go. And I will move stop losses up accordingly when I feel like it's appropriate. But then something happened with Dogecoin as I built my YouTube channel around it. I was like, okay, let's just not sell any Dogecoin because it's been kind of the pillar of your channel, and your channel is making a lot of money off of talking about Dogecoin, cryptocurrencies, doing the charting. You're making more than enough money at this point to just let that thing run for a while. And if the market seems like it's going to crash like Bitcoin, then you can be more confident about selling it. So I threw out a number out there that I think was going to be very, very high. So I said, hey, I'm going to sell half of my Dogecoin at 50 cents. Then I'm going to have a plan to sell here, 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 and here. And lo and behold, it actually hit that price target. And then, you may think, Michael, you could have made so much money. Yeah, but I mean, there are people who bought at like Dogecoin at like 10 cents. And then, they didn't even bother to sell at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, or even it was crashing back down. They didn't even bother to sell until maybe it was all the way back at 15 or 20 cents for only like 100x, 2x profit. Like, they made double the money back. I just want to make money because once I realize like, hey, I'm up 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 bucks. I'm like, hey, I can buy this for $60,000. I can buy that. I can buy this. I can buy a down payment on a house. You can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. And so, I usually don't care about it in that sense. It was more of just people being angry with me for selling Dogecoin. And I was like, go fuck yourself. I made a bunch. Why are we buying Dogecoin? I'm not like, I made some money off of GameStop and AMC a couple years ago. My goal is to not say fuck you to the establishment. The way you say fuck you in my world is to make money off of it, right? But it's not the same way like the Wall Street bets people were saying like, make Wall Street pay and hurt. That's not the type of fuck you I'm trying to do. The fuck you is like, hey, I made money off of your horrible decisions to short the hell out of GameStop. Does that make sense? All I want to see is my portfolio go up. All I want to see is myself make money. Is it a bumpy ride? Sure. But overall, the money is doing well. That's why I show you guys that smart money concept strategy. All you got to do, like there's other things like, RSIs and stuff like that, patterns and whatnot. It all matters. But honestly, like if you go over here to like, let's say, because remember, I come from options trading. Options trading is my background. It was stock day trading, which I didn't do too well at the beginning. Then I went to swing trading for stocks, and I got really good at that. Then I started to do really well day trading stocks. Then I started to do really well day trading options, and I went to swing trading options. I should have probably stuck to day trading options, but for those of you guys that have been here for a while, you guys know my mom was sick before she passed away in past October. I spent like 6 to 7 hours a day with my mother. And so what I did is I just did swing trades where I spend a few hours every week opening my trades, having my stop losses in place. And then I would just hang out with my mom all day, keep her spirits up while she was sick. And then, when the trades would get close, I'd get alerts on my phone. I would close those positions basically. And when I had free time, I would do some day trading and stuff like that. But my mom had been sick for years, so I'd always wanted to spend as much time with her as possible. But you go over here to something like an Apple. Because we did a lot of paper trades together, I believe. So as I was trying to teach people back in 2021 and stuff, maybe if I don't post on YouTube too much, like not like as far as videos, but if I go over here to my channel, I know if I go over to community, if I scroll for like maybe a minute or something, I should hit some of those old posts. Like we're already at 6 months right now. Give it a second. These are old paper trading posts that I did with you guys as a piece of me eating beef jerky. Well, I talked to you guys about breakouts and just some of those plays you could do. And just imagine these on maybe a little bit of a larger scale, I guess, financially. Okay, here we go. Hey, remember the Apple puts I told you about on Friday? They're doing okay. Make sure to scale out whenever you feel it's right based off your own strategy. I was even talking about scaling out back then. Right? So, I guess 490, 21%. So these are just a few puts. And then somebody would say, I'm not getting the notifications. And YouTube still hasn't been giving notifications out. Let me see if I can find more. I guess I can't click on anything because it resets everything. There's my mom right there. There's me at the dentist. Let's see. 1 year ago. Loki when he was a little puppy. Okay, there's one. Hey everyone, quick update. I'm feeling better and hoping my voice heals. Okay. The options I gave on the members are still doing well. If you're free to start scaling out whenever. The L expire mid-September, so you have a minute to your forced sale. Hope you see you soon. So that was Netflix. This was a year ago. It doesn't tell me the exact day, but Netflix was up 45%. Don't worry about the actual amount of profit. Worry about the percentage increase. 46% profit, 128% profit, 160% profit. There's Loki and me are eating some pho. Nvidia up back when Nvidia was cheap. 20% profit, 26% profit, right? And then I have some nasal infection. So you saw how Netflix was at 26% profit, then it went up to 45. Nvidia went to 128%, but it started off at 19. There's that one. I don't know if I can find any more pictures. A lot of members videos. I should do more members videos for about options. Right now it's just kind of a testy. Oh shit! I think I broke it. I can't. It's like stuck in a constant. Does that fix it? There you go. Here's one more. Those are SPY, 545%. Those YOLO puts have been great so far. Make sure to take some profits. Look forward to more plays soon. That was a YOLO play. Again, these are all paper trades back in the day, but let me see. I keep on breaking it. Okay, hold on. There you go. Here's a realistic one. All paper trades, but it's all you see how there's good and bad in here? Right? So this one, 87%, 19%, down 25, down 25, down 25, up 14, up 17. Overall profit that day was only 420 because of all the crazy stuff happening. You know, here's another way of looking at mixed bag overall, but still green. All right. Let me see if I can find one more here. That's what I like to, I like to go shooting. Let's see. Anything else? I don't want to click on it because I know it'll mess up things. Those ALB calls I gave you over the weekend already at 440% in less than 1.5 hours. I don't know what happened to ALB. Oh, that was in 2021. ALB 2021. ALB 2021. Ah, that's 2020. January of 2021? It doesn't tell 2 years ago. I don't know. 2 years ago is 2022. No, but those calls expired in 2021. Yeah, July 21. Okay. Might have been some move over here. Yeah, July. Oh, so yeah. What did we see? July. Yeah, see? Break of structure right here. We have a nice clean breakout right there. MACD turning on, RSI turning on. Look at that. This is a weekly chart though, so day by day it was probably even more crazy. Then we had a shoulder, head, and shoulders. Came back up and wrecked us before coming back down. But yeah, so it's a bunch of stuff like that. But again, I'm just there to take the profit, and I'll leave stuff open for a few days, but you know, eventually, like Apple. This was, oh yeah, this was one of the best trades ever. For those of you guys like Apple, one of the biggest breakouts Apple ever had. It was this one right here. What was that one? That has to be it. July 21. Oh no, that's not it. Where's the breakout? 21. Oh, my bad. I'm just not paying attention to what I'm looking at right now. There it is. Weekly chart gearing up right there at the same time as a breakout. Boom, boom, boom. Snatch it up. Make some money. You know, Apple doesn't have those nice breakouts anymore. It's been a minute. Last time we had one was over here, and it was still kind of rocky. It kind of grinded up with everything. We had one over here. But typically, buy right there. Now I'm buying right here, and then you trade from here to here at that resistance, and you sell. And you can see that you could have actually not sold right here. But with options, I think it's because options and time delta matter so much to me, just in the back of my head. You buy right here, green, green. You sell right here. Your options make, you know, a lot of money in a short amount of time. And then you're very happy because if you let this sit sideways, the value of your options is going down, even though the chart itself is going sideways. Does that make sense? And so if I really want to buy again, I can maybe buy again right here, but you see how it's kind of choppy right here? I don't. And this was a very choppy way to get up here before eventually it fell back down. So that's kind of how I trade. I know it's kind of all over the place, how I'm kind of explaining it to you. But I think I focus more on time than other traders. And sometimes that makes me sell too early. Just because of how I was trained, I have a certain bias towards the way I trade that other people don't. Which is kind of interesting. I mean, but look at those potatoes. Look at that. That's pork belly eggs Benedict at Le Sol Bistro in downtown Tacoma. Pretty darn good. I even got to see some helicopters over Seattle. I don't know what. Oh, sushi? Oh, yeah. Long time ago. What would you call? Boom. There we go. Yeah. So I'm way different as far as how I trade compared to other people, and I think as I talk to myself about these things, time really does affect me more than other, I would say, influencers out there, just because I just want to make my money, get out, and that's just because you have to do with options. Options, there's something called delta. It's like there's a whole Greek system with options. If the market's going sideways, usually you're losing money. So that's why I hate sideways markets in the first place. Not because they're like boring, which they are, and actually that's one of the reasons I don't like them. But if the market's going sideways, I'm losing money, and I have that feeling that I'm losing money as that's happening. Which is why I try not to trade too much during a sideways market. Which is why, actually, you guys hear me say this a lot. I'm sitting on my hands a lot because there's nothing. I don't want to be doing too much trading in a sideways market. So I'm sitting on my hands, guys. But again, if you see those profits, you're like, okay, then it makes sense why he can sit on his hands for a long period of times, because nothing is fitting his system, and he's fine. And when I teach people how to trade, and I talk to you guys about how you guys should be trading, I typically say you just want to choose 5 to 10 stocks, and then maybe 5 crypto tokens, and only trade those for like the next 10 years. You don't got to do anything else. If you are good enough and you see your portfolio only going up, sure, you can go out and do other stuff and buy other stuff. But if you're not making consistent profits, you got to stop flailing, just choose some stuff you like and you'd be fine. If you're trying to take it from a professional standpoint, if you guys want to go buy some new shit token out there, do it, but don't treat it as your professional portfolio. Have a standard for that one. How much I make total on Doge? It was like $60,000-$70,000. And then I spent a shit ton of it on just, TVs, moving stuff. A lot of it went to Bitcoin, Ethereum for long-term holds. Also, just a little bit more in my safety box, like a little bit more extra savings. I bought Loki with some of my DogeCoin money, although it was like months later. And then, I don't know, just a bunch of other random crap, got new tires for my car and stuff like that. All that stuff you kind of procrastinate on. You just kind of do that. Paid off on my credit card debt. Bought my mom some nice gifts. I bought my mom a lot of nice shit, actually. A lot of nice stuff. Took on a couple road trips. Made sure she had nice food. So my mom didn't have a lot of money. Because couldn't work with her being sick. So basically, you just imagine her getting food from Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, basically like all the time. That way, she didn't have to worry about getting food from like a Walmart or something like that. Which, not like they sell like terrible or something food, but she can't stand up for that long. And usually Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, well, they have good food, just, really good quality food. They don't necessarily make her wait in long ass lines. Heck, you should have saw her face when I introduced her to Instacart. I would just pay for all the food there, and she's like, "What do you want?" Just come right over. Hey, Dale, that's the same attitude I have. As long as I make a decent profit, I'm good. Yeah, that's definitely how I feel about it. Thoughts on the housing market? I kind of like the housing market, to be honest, right now. So, not maybe housing stocks, but the housing market. Because again, like, let's say you have a house right now. You're most likely not going to want to sell and buy somewhere else because the rates are so high. And so that's kind of making sure that there's not as many new houses on the market, so the prices are usually pretty good. Now, if rates come down a little bit, I think that people are going to be more willing to move, sure, a little bit, but they're going to be kind of wary for a while. And while those rates are coming down, I think you're going to see more people try to buy up houses. So the demand for houses is going to go up a lot more than than it might go down. If that makes sense. Demand will go up, and then how do I say this? The demand will outpace the new houses that come onto the market as people try to move, and that'll cause more bidding wars, which drive up the houses a lot more. So I think it's a good time to have a house. Obviously, there's never a bad time to have a house, if you ask me. Even if the value of your house went down or something like that, I'd still think it'd be good. I first got into crypto at the same time of the Doge run and remember finding your channel. You taught me so much by watching your streams. I can't think of everything. Oh, no worries, man. That's great how you bought a dog with bot. A dog. I know. It was a while later. Hold on a second here. Loki wants some treats. Here you go. Yeah, good boy. Yum, 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 yum. Hey Alex, yeah, I mean, I like to do it every now and again, but it's usually just what do you call it? It takes a lot to like explain it, and it always kind of depends on the type of mood I'm in. Remember, I've been in a pretty shitty mood, I would say, for like the last 3 weeks or something like that, just because of my ear infection thing or whatever it is on my side of the face. It's like it's almost better right now, so I just feel so much brighter, happier right now because I've just been feeling really freaking shitty. You guys can probably tell my mood has been like all shitty. So what do you call? Now I can start grinding on YouTube a little bit more. I'm not really worried about my ear getting worse because it's right there to get better. So I'm pretty pretty optimistic about it. But yeah, remember, I am such a, ask any ex-girlfriend that I've ever had, whether they've broken up with me or I've broken up with them. I'm just a freaking weird guy. ADHD, I got maybe a little bit of autism. Autism's always a little bit questionable. I have really bad ADHD, guys. I can't work for very, very long before my head starts to really feel like it wants to explode. So I don't typically like to work all too much. This is not work to me. Trading is not work to me. This is why I actually gravitated towards trading, because I thought it was a simple way for me to make money, where all you have to do is kind of practice enough and you become decent at it. But the way you guys learn how to trade really affects how you guys go forward, which is why my whole point of the channel is just to make your portfolio go up. It's not necessarily about becoming a millionaire, although you can do it by doing that, but it's just that, it's trying to take you from that first few $1,000s you have up to 100,000. If you have 100,000, take it to $1 million. It's that growth pattern there, and just by taking some time and being good at it, being consistent, you'll notice that you're making a lot more money. Because getting to $100,000 is a lot harder than getting up to $1 million once you guys are good at trading. Because then you guys can diversify, you guys can do a lot better, and you guys are fine. You guys don't have to wait and kind of watch all these moves that happen, right? Like even just watching this, like if you go over here to the 1 minute chart, this probably puts a lot of fear into a lot of day traders' hearts if they're looking at it. They may say, oh, I want to buy the breakout, and then they sell right here, and they see it go back up and they're ticked off. Maybe they buy up here and they see it come back down, they sell and they get really ticked off. It happens to all of us when we're new investors, but there comes a point where you're just like, ah, shit, I better hold. And even to this day, I buy over here when I know I probably should just wait a little bit over here. And I don't know why I do it. I think it's just because of options, the way I've been kind of programmed to just kind of buy and wait for weeks. But I will see the value go down. I will see myself lose money, and then I'll see it go up, and I'll probably sell up here or over here. This is for like day trading, basically. But so many people, they panic off of that small move, and it really messes them up, and that's how you don't make consistent profits. And again, if you guys want the easiest strategy that I think I have on my channel, search this one. I don't know if it's actually here. I haven't been making as many smart money videos, so I don't think they've been up here as much. Smart money concepts looks algo. Type in smart money concepts looks algo, and then I got one video right there, one video right there. This one's kind of old, but it's longer if you want every detailed part about Luxago. If you guys want to just use the shorter one for 10 minutes, that's also one. And I think I have day trading strategy. Michael Whitman. Here's one that's 8 months ago. That's one. Where is that one? I forget what it actually looks like. Hold on a second here. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, I should go to my studio. I should go to content. I should go down. A lot of stuff with me in the backyard. Here it is. The easiest trading strategy to master for massive profits. Let me just change this. Which one was this actually? What video was this? Hey everyone. This looks to be smart money. Yeah, this is okay. This is one of them right here. I don't think this is the video I'm thinking about, but I'll just put how to trade crypto for beginners using smart money concepts. I gotta change some of these titles up, but one of the it's something newer, I thought. Oh, maybe it is this one. Yeah, crypto trading for beginners. I think this is it. Yeah, if you go over here, if you're on YouTube, this breaks down the smart money concept strategy that I use with the RSI and stuff like that, with a lot more back testing, so you can see the different ways of which it worked. Right, like even if you followed on the screen like the greens versus the reds, if you bought during the green, you're usually going to be pretty happy with the results. It just depends on when you take those profits and when you scale out. And this one talks a lot more about scaling out and whatnot. Okay, so. And hey, Bridges, I appreciate that. What do you think about the college protests? I don't usually care all too much about it, to be honest. I know there's a lot of craziness going on there, but I don't have like the news. All I'm looking at is what I see on X, and I'm like, whatever, they're gonna do their stuff. Let them do their stuff, basically. For me, I honestly don't care. I called my sister up, and I was like, hey, please don't protest. Like, don't go down that path. And she was like, oh, I'm not. And I was like, okay, that's about as much as I cared about the protest. I make it so my sister doesn't turn out to be one of those kids, and she'll be fine. I've never been much of a protester unless it gets me out of work, you know? Hey, multi-sucker. I would buy a house with passive income only, no wife, no kids, no house, just an opinion. What do you call, well, for me, I'm thinking of moving here next year. I at this point, I think Thailand is overtaking Panama. So I think I'm going to try to like visit Panama a couple times next year, but I'm probably just going to move into Thailand because everything's just so much cheaper over there. And, I don't know if I'm going to buy property. I don't think I can buy property until I find a wife or something over there. But I think I'm just going to rent a nice house for pretty darn cheap out there. Live my best life. Have a cleaning lady that lives in the house with me. And she'll kind of like manage everything for me. Play with Loki. Do YouTube. Enjoy the fact that I can just like, move out there and not have to worry about all the high costs of America. Because like, even for all the money I make here, I still make sure I don't spend too much, right? When I go to Vegas and stuff like that. Now, I didn't go to Vegas. I haven't gone to Vegas so much after COVID, but I went a few weeks ago for work stuff, with Opus Clip paying me to go out there because I'm a YouTuber that uses the product. And then I went in December. I maybe spent... The flight probably cost me like $600 as a first class round trip flight. The room was comped for the most part, so maybe it only cost me like $300 or something like that. I gambled, I think about $3,000, but I made about $800 in profit, so I didn't lose it, thank God. And then I probably spent around $1,000 on food for the 4 days I was over there, and that includes like cigars and stuff like that, not just like actual food, but all the extra stuff I was doing. The drinks at bars can be very, very expensive if you go to like a club type of environment, which I like to frequent. Heck, I went to a club just a few weeks ago. I went to the Marquee Club at Cosmopolitan. A double, what do you call a double pineapple tequila. I've never had one of these drinks before, but my friend had one. It looked pretty tasty, so I was like, I'm going to try this. Normally I get like, rum and Coke, something very, very simple. And so he's like, no, try one of these. And I was like, sure, let me give it a shot, It was a person that works with Opus Clips. And I got one, a double, $75. Fucking, goddamn, man. But, I think before that I was supposed to go in October, but my mom passed away, so obviously I wasn't going to Vegas with that type of mindset. I was destroyed after that. But then I took the last time before that was in July, where I did take my mom to Vegas, and oh god, I 2 first class tickets for me and my mother. Plus, we got a SUV ride from the airport to the hotel. SUV ride from the airport, from the hotel back to the airport. I paid for her to get taxis everywhere because she had the scooter. I paid for the scooter. We had fine dining every single night. She loved it. It was great time. I mean, that probably cost me like $4,000 for like the 4 or 5 days, because we had to go in between her dialysis treatments. So it was like a cool $3,000-4,000 for just 4 days. 3 days, yeah, 3 days of fun, which is definitely worth it if you ask me. But like just fine dining, traveling, renting the scooter and stuff like that, and just taking her out to see everything, and lots of gambling. My mom's she was a big gambler, and so just giving her money to go out and have a good time, and then just finding random games with her to play. But what do you call it? All that adds up. Like, I probably spent like for the year 2023, I probably had over like $100,000 leave my bank account for various reasons, right? A lot of it on spending on stuff, a lot of it with bills and stuff. That's not even including taxes, right? So it just kind of depends on where my money. Luckily for me, I think a large part of it went to cryptocurrency, but there's a good chunk of it that went to like just family type of stuff. Like heck, even buying stuff for my little sister. When I buy stuff for my little sister, I buy her, like nice sunglasses and whatnot, like $300 sunglasses, stuff like that. So you gotta make sure that pot is always growing. Like despite that, I still made money last year, right? Which is the good thing. But it could definitely be a rough time. But just imagine how much better I can live in Vietnam, where like I could, king. I'll be going to resorts every other weekend, having a good time. I plan on having a house, and then every other weekend I'm pretty much going to be at some 5-star luxury resort, spending maybe like $500 for the weekend there. But again, that's like 2 months rent in Thailand, So it'd be really, really chill, having a good time there. Bring a computer so I can work a little bit while I'm there, but also just relaxing. I don't feel like I relax enough. I'm always stressed out about something. And so I'm trying to not be as stressed out about everything. And I want to build a staff and a business wherever I go, whether it's Thailand or Panama. I think Thailand's winning right now, though. And just having a staff to help me manage the channel. And so I want a staff member to make a script for me, basically a general script to say, hey, just various things to make my life a little bit easier when it comes to YouTube and not necessarily trading. I could live off of trading over there, which would be kind of nice. But I don't think trading vibes with their economy as much. 15-minute hold had them shook. How about selling after the market reaches 61,862 and above? Just asking, it's showing a golden zone. I mean, right now, what I'm looking to sell is going to be a little bit below that. It's kind of around 60,500 to 61,500. Usually when you see those types of levels there, I'm typically going to be selling just underneath them. So that's just usually where I sell. But yeah, around that zone is going to be perfectly fine if you ask me. I would just see if you bought, just make sure your stop loss is moving up just to protect you in case something happens. Because again, the dollar index is starting to plateau a little bit here. And so if we start to come back up a little bit more, that may mean that Bitcoin actually does go down for a little bit longer of a period of time and it has to cook a little bit longer. So just, understand those minor things. And I think it should be fun. Yeah, and thanks, King. I appreciate it. And thanks a lot. I appreciate it, guys. I'm going to take Loki outside, so I'm going to end the stream right here. Loki is like literally whining, which means he actually has to use the bathroom like really bad. And so he's going to say goodbye to you guys and eating his little lamb pieces. One right there, and you got one more right there. You guys can hear him crunching up a storm right here. And there he goes. And I'm going to go let him use the bathroom. It was chill talking with you guys tonight. This has definitely been a longer stream. This stream was 3 hours long, holy moly. But since my ear is getting better, I think I am going to be streaming a little bit more than normal, so I should be pretty happy with it. Do I ride a motorcycle? I do not ride a motorcycle, but I know how to ride a moped, which is fine. It's just that motorcycles, they're never as comfortable as those, like, you know, like those big seat boy ones. They're much more comfortable. Maybe I even get myself a tricycle, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, I'll see you guys a little bit later, and let's give Loki one more treat just because he's been a good boy today, and I've been neglecting him because he has to use the bathroom. Bad. All right, see you guys, everybody, and I will be live tomorrow afternoon again, sometime around the same time right now. I'll also be posting a video at 6 o'clock tomorrow about my top 10 tokens I'm buying during this market drop. The prices are going to be a lot lower in that video than they are now, but I had to try to make this video before things started to go all crazy again. So see you guys a little bit better, and I will let you guys know